Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are going to be answering your YouTube questions. But if you're watching this on the replay, I do want to let you know that we add timestamps down in the video description where we share everything that we talked about during this stream. So if there's something specific that you're trying to figure out, make sure that you do look in those timestamps. You'll also see them at the bottom of the player and the video player. You'll see them down there right now. And yeah, skip around to whatever it is that you want, or sit back and learn a lot about YouTube and have some fun with some banter with myself and my brother from the same mother, D. D, what's happening?
How was your week?
Yeah, it was a week. All right. Yeah, video's doing good on my my thumbnail thing and all my Nano Banana.
So you made a video about Nano Banana.
Yeah. Well, I made that video last Friday,
and
but it's still doing well. People still enjoying it.
Have you watched the Nano Banana video? But surely you've heard about Nano Banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you haven't, you gotta go watch the video when the stream is over.
Yeah. Yeah. Super fun.
Absolutely insane. I found it when it was first released. It was a lot more accurate. It was nailing it. It was just whatever I put in there, it was nailing it. Nailing it. Now when I put something in there, it's like it's a coin toss.
Yeah.
So I guess all the input is trying to figure out how to put that stuff together.
Sure.
Like I'm an expert in AI.
I know, right? Like you're like, oh well, this is why this didn't connect into this over here.
I have no idea.
And it was the network interface that caused it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea. But I was telling you during dinner, a lot of times I'll say do this thing, and it will just output the exact same thing that I put in. Like here's a picture. Do this thing to this picture, and then it gives
you the same exact picture back.
It gives me my picture back.
Thanks for the credits. Yeah, I guess that's why it's free right now.
That's why it's free,
right? Because they're working through all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Creator Classroom says Nano bananas. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about that is, obviously, this is in its infancy, right? And this is the best tool that we have right now for doing this sort of thing. But it's going to be a matter of weeks, possibly months before there's going to be others. Probably Anthropic's going to release one. OpenAI is probably going to release one. There'll be companies that we don't know about that are probably working on something similar right now. But what I think is cool, and we talk about this all the time, is that all of these AI tools that we have, this is the worst that it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
They're not going to get any worse than this. They're only going to get better.
Yeah.
And I think as a creator, I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's amazing. And also, like, if you guys haven't used any of this stuff also for video B-roll, like it's also pretty insane there too, because you can take, what you make inside of Nano Banana or any of the other, image tools. But the cool thing about Nano Banana is because it gives you those different angles.
Right.
So since it gives you the different angles, there's tools like VO does this, Runway ML does this, and then there's a few other ones to where you can say, here is a starting frame of the video that I want, and here's the ending frame, and then it can make videos, depending on the platform that you're using, anywhere from 3 to 10 seconds. And then what it does is it will automatically create everything in between. So you have, that starting frame, and then it just comes up with everything that you need in between in order to end on the result for whatever it is that you put it. So this is great for B-roll and those types of things if you want to use that, to where really we're coming to that point in time to where you don't even need stock video sites anymore or anything like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would not want to be a stock anything site.
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, audio, B-roll, photos. I would not want to be a stock anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you how they're going to transform. They're going to transform into having their own prompt system.
Yeah, they got to. That's the only way in. But even with that, it's like, why go use that when you can use these other things that also have these other tools attached to them?
Right.
Right? Because they're just going to be using like APIs and stuff. Like, why would you even use them? Yeah.
Advertising, marketing.
Right. But yeah.
Ours is better.
Marketing. Yeah, right.
And they're all being pulled from the same API.
Right.
Yeah. My man.
Zach Talks Tech.
Oh, my
goodness. It's like the good old days in here right now.
That's right.
Yeah, this is great. So Zach Talks Tech. He says, I'm getting back into content creation. Starting over is tough, but it's also a clean slate.
It is tough.
Appreciate you guys. D, need more creator mix.
There you go. It is tough, man. It's tough taking a long break and getting back up on the horse. I've been going through that myself, and it's tough.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Home Rapid Repair says, blast from the past.
You can do it.
Yep, you can do it.
You can do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a couple things here really quick. The very first is that if you have not gotten your ticket yet for Vid Summit, we are just a few weeks away now. Vid Summit is a conference for content creators that's happening in Dallas, Texas on October 7th through the 9th. It is the place for content creators. If you're somebody that takes this seriously, you're somebody that is full-time already, or you're wanting to go full-time, or you're just wanting to get more out of what it is that you're doing on YouTube, Vid Summit is the place to go for that. It's where you can go and network with other content creators. You can learn from all of the other content content creators that are there. Some of the best and brightest content creators on YouTube go to VidSummit to share what they know with you. You can find out information for VidSummit and grab your tickets at vidsummit.com. If you can't go in person, because it is in Dallas, Texas, if you can't go in person for some reason, they do have it to where you can get live replays, so you can get the information. But I do encourage you, if you have the ability, to go in person. And the reason for that is because you get to network with other content creators. It's lonely sometimes being a content creator, and it's great just going and, hanging out with other people and sharing your ideas in a place where it's just filled with other creatives like you. So when you get the chance, go to vidsummit.com and go check that out. And in addition to that, I want to bring some quick attention to the sponsor of the stream today, which is Opus Clip. Opus Clip helps you quickly get clips out of your content so you can publish them to multiple platforms, or so you can publish more on YouTube in just a few clicks. It is the industry leading tool for this. There's a lot of competitors, but they're all following Opus Clip. This is a great way to also expand your reach. So if you have other social media accounts that you would love to have, to where you're like, hey, it would be great if I could get some of my content onto YouTube, but right now I just don't have the time because I'm working and doing all this other stuff. In that particular case, Opus Clip is also a perfect fit for you for being able to get content onto those other platforms as well. But you can check out Opus Clip for yourself through my affiliate link at tryopusnow.com. All right, now we got the house cleaning stuff out of the way.
House cleaning stuff is out of the way. Do we have any questions?
So we just have one question in there right now. So if this is your first time here, what we do during the stream is we answer your YouTube questions. Sometimes we'll look at the channel if that's what is requested. But basically how this whole thing works is we have a form down in the video description. Or if you're watching this on another platform that's not YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask and you just put your question into that form, and then we get it answered here on the stream today. So right now we just have one question in there. So if you got a question, you get it in there, it'll definitely get answered on the stream today.
Nobody has questions today.
Yeah, nobody has questions today. That's okay. We'll talk about other stuff, right? We can talk about all kinds of stuff in that particular case.
There's nothing else really to talk about.
No.
We don't have any real YouTube news that we can talk about.
No, like they're rolling out some multi-language audio and like some other things like that. But as of right now, nothing major, per se, to really, bring attention to right now.
We should direct the entire stream based on whatever about he's going to talk about in the chat. Just let them just lead it.
I'll just be like, hey, what are we talking about now?
And then we'll just follow
along.
Yeah.
Well, there is some big news though. Just in creator tools. So for Adobe Premiere users, finally, after CapCut has been doing this for the last 5 years, Adobe finally added masking to where you can easily object track masks. So basically, it's still
just added that.
Yeah, it's still like a weird process that you have to kind of go through to make it happen. But it's currently in their beta right now. So if you are a Premiere user, keep an eye out for that. But basically, it makes it to where you can just kind of highlight whatever it is that you're wanting to track, and then you can track it across time, make any adjustments if you need to, and then go from there. CapCut is better. Because CapCut, it just nails it. With this one, you have to kind of watch it, make sure it holds the mask and all that stuff. But the fact that it's available, though, that's a pretty big deal.
Adobe, I use Adobe products. I don't use Premiere.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Premiere. But Adobe has great products.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised they dropped the ball on that. It took them so long. It's like Apple introducing new features in their phone.
Right.
It's like, hey, we've got this new thing that Android's had for like 6 years.
Right. Yeah. It's revolutionary, and you're going to love it.
It's revolutionary. Right? Yeah. And it comes in space gray. Yeah.
Yeah, so really quick, we do have a question in the chat here, and we also do have one here in the forum. So really quick, I'm just going to take this one out of the chat. Actually, we'll get this one out of the chat here next. Let me get this forum first, because we always prioritize them in the forum. So Pensman Sports, we will get your question right here in just a moment. But Explore Norway, the train room, Explore Norway does this. Oh, okay. They're the train room. Okay, got it. So let's see here.
They have 2 channels?
Yep, I did. Yeah, I never made that connection. So okay, love it. So they upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is travel advice Norway and model railroad content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I run both of these channels, and I will need to go full time soon. Instead of using 5 to 6 hours a week, it will be more like 50 to 60. When other creators I follow did the same, they suddenly created way more videos than I have time to watch. How to avoid viewer fatigue? The way that you, let me finish the question. You say, I have enough ideas for the next 10 years, so that's not the problem, and I'll spend time developing related products which can be sold. So when it comes to viewer fatigue, don't think about it as a singular user. Think about it as all of the people that are interacting with your channel, right? Because, some people, will have time to go and check in on YouTube every day, see, if let's say you're uploading every day. Which I'm not sure if you're going to go that aggressive or not, but let's say you were. In that particular case, you're going to have some people that have the time to go in and watch every day. For those people, then you give them something to watch every day, which is great. You're going to have other people that, they only have time to really check in like, once or twice a week on the other side of that. And for those people, they are going to have to, make the choice, and YouTube's going to recommend out of those videos the one that they think is the one or two, the few that they think is the best fit for that particular viewer. And then hopefully you're going to be able to capture them on that. If they're super engaged, then they might come to your channel, they might watch them all, which is good. So I wouldn't worry too much about the viewer fatigue thing, especially if you're like, hey, I'm going all in on this, and I'm going to start publishing more content with everything it is that I'm doing. I would just do your thing first, and then see how viewers respond to what it is that you do. But just increasing your upload schedule as long as people are responding to the content, that can definitely be a way to just generate more activity on the channel and grow your channel and all that stuff, as long as with the caveat of people need to be responding to the content for that to happen, which I'm sure they are. Any other advice there, D, in terms of trying to avoid viewer fatigue or uploading, like when you're what about advice like for making that transition from part-time to full-time? Got any advice there?
Yeah,
because that's part of this thing here. Like, they didn't have a question about that, but they're saying they're going to go full time soon. So we should probably share some information on that too, real quick.
I think everybody should, if you want to go full time, I think that's a great goal to go after, and I think you can definitely do it. But I would say be mindful of putting all of your eggs in one basket. Be mindful of just relying only on ad revenue. Mm-hmm. Make sure you are trying to build your account around a business, maybe things that you sell, ad sponsorships, working with brands. If you can put I don't know if you have a course that you can put together, whatever it is. Like I think the biggest mistake I see is people putting all their eggs in just one Google basket. Mm-hmm. It's just like ad revenue, memberships, super chats. And that's fine, but Google giveth, Google taketh away.
Right. And you're just missing opportunity. You're leaving money on the table.
You're leaving money on the table. Diversify. Mm-hmm. Diversify your income. That's the best advice I can give you on that one.
Yeah, and as a part of that, if you're going full time, like do YouTube and also look into a little bit of internet marketing too, because that'll lead you into like affiliate marketing, making your own products, that kind of stuff. So look into just digital marketing in general, and that's a great way to just be able to see like, oh, people are doing this. Is there a way that I can apply this to what it is that I'm doing? People are doing this. Is there a way to apply that to what it is that I'm doing? And then that might also generate some ideas for you for other ways that you might be able to monetize what it is that you're doing. Because like if you're fully dependent on it, like it's really good to have multiple things, because sometimes 1 month this is up, this is down, another month this is down, this is up, things like that. So it's just a good way to just kind of create some type of balance through what it is that that you're doing as a content creator. Because there can be swings in your channel.
There could be swings with the channel, and just if you are not an entrepreneur, if you've worked for someone else and you haven't taken on the responsibility of operating your own business yet, that within itself is challenging. Yeah. It's an undertaking. It's a different level of stress that you're dealing with to be a business owner. Mm-hmm. When you're a business owner and you're relying on social media as your main business, that's a little bit extra terrifying sometimes. Right. So that's why I can't stress enough, diversify your income and try to find as many ways as possible to monetize the content that you're making.
Yeah.
Monetize your brand, your personal brand. Just think of every possible way you can make money, so you're not reliant on any particular income stream. So if one of them drops, one of them disappears or dries up, you're not in full panic mode.
Right. And really quick also, let's see here. Let me find it really quick. So Field Guide to DIY says, Nick, really enjoyed watching your conversation with Kevin Kobe. I look forward to seeing you at Vid Summit. Look forward to seeing you at Vid Summit as well. And for anybody that wants to see that conversation that I had with Kevin, I'm going to drop a link to it into the chat right now.
Can I just ask,
open it up, save it to your watch later playlist, and make sure that you check that out later. Kevin's awesome.
Why do we have orange for the brand color?
Why do we have orange for the brand color? Were you seeing that?
Load it back up. I'm going to have to change this to
It's red.
No, it's not. It's like an orange. I'm going to make it more blue. Up, go back. We're going to.
Okay, do your thing, D.
Yep.
Yep.
That's close enough for here.
Okay, so
there we go.
Yep.
Okay, that's close enough for here. Okay.
Yeah. While you're doing your thing, I'm going to go back up to the question.
My thing is complete.
Hey, and really quick, Home Rapid Repair, they said something, insightful here as well. That is, completely true, and everybody should, kind of take note of this. They say, remember, you're not competing with other YouTube videos. You're also competing with Netflix, Family Time, gaming, hobbies, bars, dance clubs, theaters, etc. And I think that was in regards to going full time and just remembering, you got to give it your all. You know what I mean? Because competition out there is fierce for people's attention.
Even worse than that, you're competing against yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're competing against yourself. And again, I don't know what your situation is, but if you are coming from a situation to where you are working for someone else, you are working their hours, the shifts that they put you on, you're following their rules, you're punching the clock, whatever that you're doing, when you're not doing that anymore, if you don't have motivation or discipline, all of the things put together to where you can punch your own clock and do it consistently, it can be really it can be difficult to keep things going long term, year after year after year after year. So just make sure that you try to put some level of systems in place so you don't completely go off the rails.
Yeah, Triathlon with Coach John. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing awesome. Nice to see you in here. It has indeed been a while. Hope you are doing great.
It's been a minute.
Yep, been a minute. It kind of flows nicely, I guess.
Been a minute. Hey, Neil.
So I was looking for that question
in the
here.
chat.
Yeah, somebody said a question. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to come back to it, and then now I'm looking for it.
They're gone.
Yeah, I can't find it. I'm like, oh no, what happened to it? So yeah, I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. So unfortunately, yeah, we're just gonna have to skip that. But if you did have that question and you dropped it in here, oh, I see it. So Pinsman Sports says, how do I get more viewers on my long form videos? I'm trying to get more audience, and I'm tired of talking to myself. I got 906 subscribers right now.
That's awesome.
It is. You're doing great. So when it comes to starting a new YouTube channel, it's important to know that most content creators don't even, most people, when they start YouTube channels, or most channels on YouTube, they don't even have 100 subscribers. So you're already doing way better than a lot of people when it comes to even having a YouTube channel in the first place and having 900 subscribers on the channel. So when you are trying to get views on your videos, the most important thing to remember is that you see all of these other channels on YouTube. Like you log into YouTube, you look at your homepage, and you're like, oh my gosh, all these channels are just getting tons of views on them. And then when you publish a video and it doesn't get that, then it might make you feel like, oh my gosh, everything I'm doing sucks. But in reality, it just means that, one, if you're trying to reach those view counts, you need to learn how to serve your audience in a way through your content that is going to help you reach those view counts. And you do that by making content about things that people are interested in, which I'm assuming that you're already doing. In addition to that, you have to learn how to make thumbnails that help people identify that your content is about something that they might care about and be interested in. You have to make titles that are informative and or compelling. And you also have to make really good video content, because YouTube is a big, gigantic competition. And if you want to be able to compete, you are literally competing with the best content creators on YouTube. If your audience watches those people, you're competing with them. You're competing with everything on YouTube that YouTube thinks is a good fit for the people that you're trying to reach as well. So you have to make sure that your content is competitive within their system. So there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of skills that you need to learn. And right now you got 906 subscribers on your YouTube channel. So the thing you got to make sure that you're doing is focusing on, okay, how can I make all of this as good as possible? Because that's the only way forward, is embracing the learning curve and developing the skills needed to do it all.
Yeah, I want to add to that.
Roberto Blake in the house.
Hey, Roberto.
What's up, dude?
Yeah, I just want to add to that just a small thing in terms of your perspective, saying that you don't like making videos and just talking to yourself. Mm-hmm. You are talking to the people who have already signed up to be on board with whatever it is that you're making. You've made something to get those subscribers. Now, naturally, not all of those subscribers are going to come back and watch your videos, but you do have an audience. A percentage of those subscribers are going to see your videos. Mm-hmm. So you're making content for them. You're also making content for the people who don't know you yet, mm-hmm. but when they do find those videos, when they come across those videos, you want to give it your all so that they're going to watch your video,
right,
hopefully to the end, and then hopefully go on to watch another one of your videos. So don't discount your subscriber count or discount the fact that you might have low views.
Yep.
If 2 people are watching, that's still 2 people,
yep,
that are taking their time to watch something that you made. Mm-hmm. I think it's really easy to lose track of perspective because we see so many channels that are just getting crushed with views. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I'm only getting whatever. I'm only getting 100 views, and this channel's making 100,000 views doing the same thing. I'm wasting my time. No, you're putting in the work.
Yep.
You're essentially
laying the foundation right now.
You're laying the foundation. Yeah. You're going to the gym.
That you're going to build your house on.
You're putting in the reps. Mm-hmm. You're doing the work.
Yep.
Just keep learning, man. You'll get there.
Yep. Yeah, and Roberto mentions here, 90% of creators never get 1,000 subscribers. 97% of channels never get 10,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. By the way, Roberto has this book called Create Something Awesome. Helps you learn how to monetize your YouTube channel and a bunch of other YouTube-related stuff. Make sure that you check this out. You can find it over on Amazon, or I've got a link to it down in the video description as well if you want to check that out. Urban Van Life, Neil, in the house is up to you. Hope that you are doing awesome. Nice to see you in here also. Starting to feel like old living live, isn't it? We got Zach in here. We got Neil in here. Beanie Draws is, back in here. This is great. Okay, so Neil says, being full-time YouTube and full-time van life is harder than any job I've ever done. And this is really good context, right? Because people will see, oh, you're just uploading videos. How hard can it be, right?
Right.
So being a full-time YouTube and full-time van life is harder than any job that I've ever done. The work never stops. But I started in this stream with 1 subscriber, and now thanks to D, I'm where I'm at now. That's awesome, dude.
There you go.
Absolutely fantastic. Cathay Arts too, like the squads in here. It's great. Love it. Let's hear. So you say that when I go live, I average between 20 and then 70. After I'm done the next day, it goes up. Yeah, other things too, keep in mind when it comes to live streams. Like live streams, you can absolutely grow the channel with live streams and, stuff like that. But growing a channel with live streams, not always, but it's often harder than growing it with, strategic video content that is put together with the intention of, designing an experience for people as they're going through that content. So, just keep that in mind. So next up on the list here, we've got Us Plus Dad. What's going on? Hope you're doing awesome too. They do daily content. It's Roblox family role play. The goal is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, we've grown our channel with faceless shorts videos and face live streams. We consistently get 30 to 35,000 views on shorts, but to be more personal, attract brands, etc., we've been testing face cam on shorts. Views on shorts with my daughters are way down. Definitely seems like YouTube is hesitant. Shorts I've been in have performed about normal for the channel. I've noticed our face cam shorts also make around 8 to 11 cents more per 1,000 views. Also, is it worth going all in on face and suffering through the short-term pain while YouTube figures out our new direction, or should we stay in the faceless lane? So first, it may not be YouTube. It could just be that people are responding differently to that content when they see, different faces in there. Yeah. For example, when they see your face, they just might respond, differently in terms of you, reacting to it and all that stuff. Compared to the other people that you might put in there. And that's kind of like a normal thing when it comes to YouTube. Like there's channels, and I'm not going to name anything specifically, but like in my niche, there was a channel that was grown to, I think, almost 200,000 subscribers. They did it in a relatively short amount of time. The person that was the personality of the channel, they ended up leaving the channel, and they, started their own YouTube channel. Yeah. And the channel that they left, I mean, it pretty much died the day they left.
That was crazy.
It was, but that channel pretty much died. Like, it still gets, some activity, but in terms of, the difference, it was substantial. And, the reason for that was that, there's the information that can be shared, but then there's also how that information is shared and who is sharing that information and their, personality, charisma, all of their little, quirks and nuances, all that stuff. So because of that, viewers could be just responding differently, and it might not necessarily be YouTube, but it could just be that viewers are responding differently. But in terms of, just kind of writing it out, you can write it out, but, the fact that you've already noticed that there is a difference, I know that you're doing this with family. So because of that, you probably want to ride this out, and then find the people that also respond to that and, all of that. So you have people that are responding better to you, people that respond, better to them. Kind of like here, right? Like, some people respond better to D. Almost everybody responds better to D. And then I'm over here just, talking, waiting for D to come in and actually say something people care about.
Yeah. The opposite of that is what actually happens.
Yeah, I think I just sit here and fill space while people are just waiting for you to come in and say something.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think the opposite of that is what's happening, but I'll take it.
So next up on the list here, we have exceptional indie games. Learn Spanish World. What's going on? Exceptional indie games. They have been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They're focused on showcasing indie game content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, what is your take on audio dubbing, on the audio dubbing feature on YouTube? I also noticed that it seems like YouTube automatically translates my titles into different languages, regardless if I publish the dubs or not. Should I delete those if I'm not publishing dubs? Thanks again for your channel review yesterday and the awesome feedback. Much appreciated. Glad you enjoyed the review. So when it comes to audio dubs can, grow like another part of your audience. But just like if you were to start a brand new YouTube channel, when it comes to audio dubs, it is kind of like that. Because if you have, let's say, 5 videos dubbed in a particular language, then in that case, if YouTube, shows that to somebody, shows one of those videos to somebody, then they only have a small selection of videos to also show, that viewer. But as that library grows of dubbed content, that you can grow, audiences. Like, I know people that have, grown like substantial additional audiences from using the auto dub feature. So I would, consider, like, if you're doing it now, if people are responding to it, then in that case, I would keep going or give it some time. Dee and I were actually just talking about this today and talking about how, I'm going to start doing more of that here on this channel as well. And the reason for that is just because, there are people that are going to be able to, enjoy this content in other languages and that kind of stuff. So, it's just a good move to, start dipping your toes in that water,
literally,
so to speak.
No one wants to listen to you speak another language.
Yeah, I know.
No one.
I know.
No one wants to do that.
I know.
Except for, I think, Bangladesh or something.
Maybe.
I think they're looking forward to it. I
Yeah.
think I saw some.
Yeah, they're like, I hope Nick's coming to speaks in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
What's the language in Bangladesh?
I don't think, are they Hindi?
I have no idea.
Urdu?
I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm not sure.
Bangladesh?
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
Hindi or Urdu? I'm not sure. But they're waiting for you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
But if you're not, to finish your question up, if you are not publishing the dubs, then I wouldn't worry about translating like the titles and descriptions and stuff, because in that particular case, like they're gonna see the title in their own language. They're gonna click on it, then they're gonna glance down. If they see the description, if they're on like a computer or something, and they look down and they see that in their own language, but then they hear you in a language they don't understand, then they're gonna bail on that video, right? So because of that, if that was my channel, I would delete those if I wasn't doing that.
So I just want to apologize to all the Bangladeshis who might be watching this. Urdu is their second language.
Shame on you, D.
Bengali is their first language, not
Bengali.
Hindi.
Yeah,
I kind of made that assumption because of the proximity to India. My sincerest apologies.
Yep.
Yeah, I almost had you.
Yep.
Pesky kids.
Yeah, and Roberto mentioned something here, and I want to highlight a part of this. So he says, the main thing that I'm going to be doing is making content as accessible overall as possible. That's why I went back to making articles, PDFs, and infographics and posting them, tutorial videos coming back. And one of the things I want to highlight here is just the accessible, right? Like, when you do make your content accessible to people like that, you are giving yourself the opportunity to, just reach more people. Same thing when it comes to like YouTube has their default captions that you can use, but, just making sure your captions are all clean and all of that stuff as well, so that, people that have, hearing problems or people that are listening in environments like D sometimes mentions where, he'll be laying in bed, next to his girlfriend, and they'll be, he'll be watching a video while she's asleep or something, and he won't have the audio on in respect to her, and he'll be watching, the captions instead. So if those channels that he watches that do that, if they didn't have those captions, then they wouldn't be able to get, D watching their videos in that case. I'm
big on captions. Like the short form especially, really big on captions. Yeah.
So I can't remember the stat on this, but I looked into this a long time ago, and when it comes to captions actually increase, especially if you're doing like tutorial content, educational content, anything like that. Captions increase somebody being able to retain the information by like a decent amount, to where it helps people retain the information a little bit better, which is pretty cool. Okay, so next
I totally believe them because it was on the internet that said that.
Yeah, right. I think I might have looked back into that with like all our questions. I think like back then, I think I might have taken a deep dive on that.
Yeah,
one.
I don't know the psychology behind that, but I can only assume it's just that reinforcement of what's being said.
Yeah.
Right, you're hearing it and you're visually seeing it at the same time. Yeah. There has to be some sort of a psychological imprint that's made.
Yeah, and it's also kind of solidifying what your ears
right,
are saying,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or what they're saying, what they're hearing. Yeah. Got talking ears over here.
I'm guessing.
Yeah. So, so next up we got CSO Lounge. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do educational content. It's sewing tips, advice, and inspirational content. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and to be a full-time creator. And the question is, should we keep auto subbing? I'm going to guess you're saying dubbing. Turned on. Recently saw some videos where creators said it messed up their reach and analytics. I haven't noticed this personally, but wondered what the best practice is at this point. I think we just covered that in the last question in terms of, making the content accessible. And, with this particular feature, it's going to get better. Like YouTube, makes improvements to these types of things over time. So, this feature, is going to, get better, and it will make your content more accessible over time. So next up, we've got, and by the way, if you are just joining us, we are answering your YouTube questions. If you have a question about anything when it comes to YouTube, put it down in the form that's in the description. If you're watching this on another platform, just go to nickniman.com/ask, and it's going to redirect you to the form where the questions are, and we will get your questions answered here on the stream.
So K&J Lumber says, when I read my Bible, I play the audiobook version in the background to help me retain what's being said.
Oh, interesting. Nice. So it's kind of like a read along.
Yeah.
I guess. That's cool. Yeah, super cool.
Little hack there.
So let's see here. Next up on the list, we've got Gaki's Kitchen. I hope I'm saying that right. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and open this. They upload every other day. They do cooking recipes. The goal of the channel is to make money. And they say, kindly check my channel and give me some pointers. Thank you. So we are going to pull up their channel, just kind of take a look, first impressions. What do we see? What's happening? What's going on here?
First channel of the day.
So let me slide this over.
You pulling them up?
Interesting. Since we're live. Oh, there we go. Oh, if you can press the screen just a little bit, you can't see it. Boing.
There you go. There it goes.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. So let's take a gander at this D. Okay, so right out of the gate, if I move this, does it stay the same? It does. Glorious. Okay, so right out of the gate, simple recipes, bold flavors, makes total sense. You've got 2,000 subscribers so far, which is great. 2,000. Yeah, so you're on your way there, a little bit closer to 3, which is great. 535 videos. Love delicious food, short on time, or tired of complicated recipes. And then I'm guessing this is going to say you're in the right place. Okay. Okay, so let's see what you are doing. So really quick, I just like to do, just kind of a best practice check, just kind of take a gander here and see what it is that you're working on. So you're definitely focusing strong on food, which is great. Using your community feed a lot. Breaking videos down into different playlists. That's all great. Okay, now let's get to the stuff that matters the most.
Guy's Kitchen.
4 must-try chia pudding. Let's go ahead and just kind of zoom in here. A/B testing your thumbnails too, I think, which is great. 4 must-try chia pudding recipes for breakfast, snacks, or dessert. So I think your thumbnails, good. D, what do you think of this thumbnail?
Hold on. I think it's good.
Yeah, and then here
As someone who makes chia pudding.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, great.
Yep.
Yeah, and here you have 4 must-try chia pudding recipes for breakfast, snacks, or dessert. Yeah, I think this is compelling also. What do you think? As somebody who literally makes these, what do you think?
I would test something here.
Okay.
I don't see anything necessarily wrong with these. I think they look good. I would test a couple of different shots. Oh, you can't get us both in there. I would test a couple of different shots where maybe another thumbnail has a finished, really delicious looking chia pudding, and then next to it is a pile of chia. Like, think of it from just from a graphic perspective, right? Just from like, okay, here's a big pile of chia seed. Make it look really nice. Maybe put like a plant behind, something visually appealing to where it's just like, here's a pile of chia, and here's maybe some other ingredients, and then here's a finished product. Just to kind of get that visual recognition for people.
So it's like this turns into this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I might even try a split version where it's like, how it started, how it's going, sort of thing.
Where it's before and after.
Yeah, here's the ingredients. Here's what it looks like. Just something to test. I don't know if one of those is going to work better than the other. But as someone who eats this sort of thing, all of those plus your current thumbnail would catch my attention.
Yeah, just a quick thing right here. Like this isn't gonna, be like a gigantic thing, but just so you know, like on suggested videos, this is getting truncated. I think it has enough information here to where it's okay. But just so you know, like where it turns yellow here, like this is the area where it starts truncating on suggested videos. So just so you know what's going on there. But one thing that I also want to encourage you to do is in alignment with what Dee was talking about. So you can see here how you have chia puddings where you have, basically a version with the text on it. And then you have here when we pull the other version that you are testing, how it doesn't have the text on it. So those types of things are good tests because then it's like, okay, do I need to put text on this to support it? And the fact that you're trying both of them, I think is smart when it comes to that. But in addition to that, for that third test, I would try something that's wildly different because with these two, the only thing that's different is that little line of text. And it might make a difference, but it's probably not going to be huge. The way that you uncover big differences is by uploading completely different thumbnails that are completely different. So because of that, using something, like an approach kind of like Dee was talking about as an additional test would be something to consider.
I have one more thing.
Yeah,
this is my last critique of this thumbnail. Okay. I think what you're doing looks good, but for the sake of visualizing this better, I want you to learn about color contrast. And when you're putting the toppings on top of the chia pudding, make sure that the colors contrast. So if you're putting, I can't tell from here if that's banana or mango, but if you're putting yellow on top of yellow, the toppings get lost. So let's say if you have a yellow pudding, think about greens and browns and maybe oranges. So maybe like a cinnamon stick or maybe some strawberries or some blueberries. So you have some color contrast that's going to help everything look better. Because everything kind of blends in together and it's not very colorful. Our eyes respond really well to color. So think of it as putting, how can I add some more flavor to this visually, right?
I like the pun there. That's great.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. Ba-doom-ba. He'll be here all weekend, folks.
I'll be in the kitchen all weekend.
Yep, making chia stuff.
Where I belong, that's what my girlfriend says.
Right.
Get in the kitchen where you belong.
Right.
And then I go.
Yep.
I go make chia pudding.
What else are you going to do?
That's right.
Of course you're going to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just think about what can you put on top that's going to add more color.
Yeah.
Red strawberries, blueberries, cinnamon sticks, some parsley. Just dress it up a little bit.
Yep. Tried to do it for you in Google Nano Banana, but it just gave me the same exact image that I inputted.
See?
Like Dee was talking about earlier. Yeah, so I was like, can you make this dessert and this image have perfect color contrast? The toppings look great and pop, and then it just gave me the same thing.
Yeah.
So it didn't work that time. Yeah.
You know what? Go to YouTube and just type in chia pudding, and we're probably going to see.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Give me 1 second first, though. So another thing that I just want to just kind of check here and see what it is that you're doing.
Oh, that looks good.
Okay, so Dee, since you do make this kind of stuff and all that stuff, if you were to click into this, is there anything about this that you would be like, I'm not going to watch this? I mean, we can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Mango coconut, a quick intro, cool. Benja's cool. I don't know if you're speaking through this or if you put.
I'll tell you.
What's she doing? Music, yogurt. Here's one thing I would like to see. Now, I do love that you're showing that you're just putting a little bit here, a little bit there. But if you're putting like a measurement in there, like when you poured water in it, how much water did you pour in it?
Oops.
Are you putting a teaspoon or a tablespoon of this? I would make sure that whatever you are adding to it, just make sure that how much coconut chili powder? How much was that? Because you put it in really quick, I don't really have time to look at the measurement that it looks like a tablespoon. Not 100% sure from here. Just just that little bit of clarity, so somebody immediately knows what's going on.
Nice. Yeah,
it looks good though. It's fast, moves along. Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, so another thing that I'm going to look at here really quick is we're just going to see kind of what's driving what it is that you're doing. Yeah, so in alignment with what Dee was talking about, I also think, because he was talking about color contrast, but I also think just adding a little bit of saturation to these two to really make them just kind of pop a little bit. Like, you don't want to overdo it, but these definitely do look a little bit dull. It could be the screen that I'm on. No, they do. Yeah, so I would definitely try to kind of pump the color up on some of these just a little bit. But you had this video here do great.
Yeah.
This is 2 years ago. I don't know if it's getting views anymore. But in this case here,
really quick before you go into that, scroll back just to that image of the salad. Go up of the video. Go to the actual video itself for a second.
Okay.
No. Just scroll right there, right there.
Okay.
Just visually, do you see how those tomatoes stand out in that sea of green? That's what I'm talking about in terms of how you're going to dress up the things that you're making. So if you had green chia pudding, that red is going to stand out, right? If you have orange or blue or something on top of the yellow, that's going to stand out. Just think about contrasting colors to make your food look even better. And it looks good. Like, strawberries. Ooh, that would be delicious. Ooh, cinnamon. Right? You're adding that people are going to think about those flavors subconsciously.
Yeah, I was also checking like down here to make sure they're like pinning a comment and stuff on this video that did well, and it looks like they are, which is great. But
she said she's getting about 200 views a day on that still.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing that I was looking for is just making sure that you are making sure that in that particular scenario, just making sure that you are taking the traffic that you're already getting and making it easy for those people to find more of your content. That's what I was looking for there. All right. So next up on our list.
Can we just see what other people are doing for the...
Yeah. What am I looking for? Chia pudding?
Just put in chia pudding. I'm just, I want to see what the other thumbnails are, how the thumbnails are working for some of the other accounts. Pull it back up. You're down.
Yeah, so I typed chia pudding into the search.
Yeah, see that red just stands out.
And then as I scroll down here.
See, they have the different colors for the chia pudding. Keep going.
Great looking shot, too. Looks like it was taken like portrait mode.
Yeah, keep going. See what they've got.
I would love to look at some thumbnails if we get past all these shorts.
Yeah, oh my goodness, driving me crazy. Oh, that looks great. Too. That looks great. See, they've got, what do they have? I can't see that from here.
It says intermediate, expert, and beginner.
But you see the different colors. It looks like they have granola on there, blueberries. That's what that's exactly what I'm talking about. It dresses it up to make it look even more delicious than it already is.
Yeah, this one's kind of dull.
Yeah.
But they got 2 million views on it.
But yeah. But again, they pulled in the side. They pulled in the strawberries and blueberries and put them on the side.
Super high production.
It just adds to it.
Yeah. One thing also to consider with some of these is if you look at the production on some of these, I mean, it's, like you don't have to go out and get like, super nice cameras and stuff, but like lighting, that kind of stuff can make a big difference in how you actually put it all together. That's what I was saying before about like pumping up the colors a little bit, and just kind of taking it into some type of editing software, be it CapCut or, Premiere, whatever it is that you use to edit, but, getting some of it, just trying to, make it look nice and juicy, like some of these, because, people are responding to, some of these. Granted, these people have check marks, so they could have that built-in audience already, but regardless, people are still responding to the content, which is good.
Yeah. But see, that one is more similar to hers.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, they have the top down, right. But again, right, see how colorful that is? They added the Chia Pudding 101, tips, tricks, recipes, and more.
Yeah, this one's 5 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm going to go home and make some chia pudding.
Yeah. What have you done? What have you done? All right. So let's see here. So really quick, we had a super chat come in from I Know a Guy Bicycle. Says, I've hit a wall and I'm hoping to grow my channel during the off season. I'm still running my bike shop, but I'm trying to shift more towards passive income. Any advice for my channel would be great. You rock. Thank you. So
I just want to play out there the irony of saying I know a guy bicycles and then talking about hitting a wall.
Oh, that's funny.
That's just, I hope you're all right, man.
That's what they come for, D.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Brian G. Johnson in the house.
Brian G. Johnson. Let's get the other books. I got a whole stack of books here just waiting for people to come in. So let's see here. So we got Brian G. Johnson. This is his book, Brian G. Johnson, Tube Ritual, Volume 1. Helps you grow your YouTube channel to 5,000 subscribers and more by teaching you the best practices. Make sure you check this out on Amazon as well. Yeah,
Brian nails this is lighting, production, framing, small wins, fix it once and win. Yeah, I agree, man.
Yep. So I know I got bicycles. Let's take a look at what it is that you're doing. So the question was, I'm still running a bike shop. I'm trying to shift more towards passive income. Any advice for my channel would be great. Okay, so what we're going to look at is we're actually going to look at the income side of your YouTube channel, because that's what you're trying to do. So I'm just going to see how it is that you're making money on this. So let's see. So you're at 12,000 subscribers, which is super cool. Seeing if you're like uploading on a regular basis. Yeah, you're uploading a lot, which is also cool. So a couple things just really quick that I want to bring to your attention is that with your content here, you are focusing a lot. I mean, you're using the word bike in here, which is good. But I would also experiment with, if you're not doing it already, you might be, no, you're not. So one thing that I would experiment with is A/B testing some of these as you're putting them out, and having some that are just focused on, and I know we're not like really looking at the channel, we're looking more at monetization, but I would definitely consider A/B testing, doing some thumbnails that are just like the bike, right? Sitting there.
Yeah.
Versus like these
Simplified.
big panels of text. Because what you're trying to do, the reason that this is important and using imagery like that can be advantageous is because, you know, you're competing with everything that YouTube thinks a viewer would be interested in. And you're competing with that in their mobile feeds, on their computers, on their TVs. And because of that, you have to make it super easy to where when people are looking around YouTube, that the things that they care about the most will grab their attention, right? Based on the imagery. So, you know, some people will just sit there and read everything, but most people are just looking at everything at a glance. Yeah. So because of that, I would just A/B test, you know, these text panels against like, hey, let me just put, you know, it's like a nice cool shot of a bike on here or something like that. So somebody that's interested in bikes in any capacity, so that they will just instantly know like, oh, this has something to do with a bike, right? Without having to read anything. And then that will grab their attention, and then they can come down to the title, and then they can take it from there. But let's look and see what it is that you're actually doing. So the very first thing that I want to tell you is that it doesn't look like you are currently doing any review content. So right now it's off season, so you might, at least off season where you're at currently. But when it comes to this type of content, you have a real opportunity here to make review content. And with the review content, where you're reviewing different bikes and things like that, because it looks like you have these like, you know, around, reviewing bikes, reviewing accessories, you know, getting people kind of prepped for next season, that kind of stuff. Just reviewing things can be a great way to where if you are optimizing, like, okay, let's do it this way. So bike accessories. Yeah, okay. So right here, if I just type in, I start to type in bike accessories, you can see here people are looking for bike accessories you must have, bike accessories Amazons, bike accessories for beginners, bike accessories from Temu, bike accessories 2025, that kind of stuff.
I would trust those Temu bike accessories.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, proceed with caution.
Yeah, my teeth have something to say about that, right?
Hold on. Yeah, that wasn't Temu. Yeah. That was completely your fault.
Yeah, I know. No, it was actually Huffy's fault. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we said don't get on the bike because we were working on it.
Yeah.
And you got on the bike and it wasn't put together.
Yeah.
And then the handlebars came off.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah, it is. You're right. But here we have like best bike accessories on Amazon, best bike accessories for commuting, best bike accessories for 2025. So making content around these types of things that people are looking for that could possibly lead them into something affiliate related is definitely something to consider. Since you have a bike shop, you might also be able to sell things directly from your shop if you do have an online store set up. That's another way that you can do it, but I'm going to look for that here in just a second. But these types of things, and just really digging around, spending some time here, just looking around for, you know, things that people might be looking for around this. And you can also use tools like vidIQ, for example, where you can go and vidIQ does this and TubeSpanner does this, where you can go in and you can say, like, this is the topic, and then it'll show you different things that people might be looking for around that topic, or that people are, not might, but that people are looking for around that topic, to where it kind of does this, it does this at scale. Inside of my app, New Creator, that I have, you know, kind of plugged down here, and I'm not saying this to plug the app, but I also have a thing in there to where you can do this same exact thing, and it will give you up to 300 results at a time of all of the different things that people are looking for around the phrase that you put in there. So you can also use, you know, things like that. But the idea is to just look through it and be like, okay, yeah, I got stuff in my shop that I could sell from this for my store. If you have that, I can sign up as an Amazon associate because you've got 12,000 subscribers on the channel. I can sign up for as an Amazon associate for their program and, you know, start doing reviews on stuff where I can send people there, those types of things. So that would be step one. Step numero dos. Let me go see what it is that you are actually doing in your content already.
What are they selling already?
Okay, full episode, bike retail and industry news. This is cool. So I guess this is their website, I'm going to guess. Okay, so you're already doing affiliate stuff. This is great. So when it comes and you're selling stuff off of Etsy, also fantastic. Yeah, all this is good. So, so now it comes down to making content that leads people into these things based on what it is that they're looking for. So, making like right now while you're in off season, I would make content on as much of these things, not just bike accessories, but anything that people are looking for around bikes. And the thing that I want you to keep in mind is the intent that somebody might have when they're watching the video. So people that are looking for bike accessories on Amazon, they might have just got a bike. They might, it might be season for them, and they're like, hey, let me, just look and see if there's anything new available, that kind of stuff. So you want to come up. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, like you want to come up in situations like this to where people are like, oh, okay, yeah, let's see what we got here. And then they can click in like this one a month ago, 15 coolest bicycle gadgets and accessories on Amazon, 115,000 views on this particular video, and it was a month ago. So I'm guessing it's off season, but they're still getting 115,000 views, and people responded highly to this because it's got 115,000 views on it, and it's the coolest bike gadgets and accessories on Amazon. The likelihood that they probably made a decent amount of money off of this in affiliate sales is going to be pretty high. So the whole idea that you want to think about is, would the person that's watching this video or searching for this type of thing, would this person be likely to make a purchase from watching this video? If it's a, how to, put a wheel on a bike, or how to, replace your chain on a bike or something like that, not so much. You can mention products there and people, can still go buy them, but people aren't like they didn't click on that video considering, that they might end up making a purchase when they clicked on the video, right? So that's the difference when it comes to intent, when it comes to the types of videos that you're making. But a few things that are really good for this are you can do review videos, you can do list videos, just like in this situation, 15, right? It's a list of 15 items, 15 coolest bicycle gadgets and accessories on Amazon. You can do 5, you can do 10, you can do 15, you can do top 25, whatever the thing is.
Best Christmas gifts to buy bike enthusiasts.
Right, as we're getting close to we start getting close to the holidays.
Best
absolutely.
bikes for your children's first bike.
Yep. All of those types of things.
Best safety equipment for children riding bikes. Mm-hmm. You could just go on and on and on and on and on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as a part of that as well, because you mentioned that you have a bike shop, that also gives you the opportunity if you have a store. Because I see you have this. It looks like a newsletter here. If this is your newsletter, it looks like you have that. But I don't see. I'm going to go back to the channel here real quick. I don't see. Okay, here we go. Okay, I know a guy, bicycles.com, and then you got T-shirts, detailing products.
Don Juan says, talk about specific bikes. I'm into old school BMX bikes, so that's what I talk about. Well, what he's looking for is ways to make money.
Yeah.
How to make more passive income, mostly through affiliate sales, probably in this situation. So if he's making
they've got a
videos-
shop. They've got
They
a
have a
shop.
shop, too.
Yeah, they got a shop too. Yeah. So here's what I would do is I would make videos around all of those types of things. I would find anything that would possibly lead somebody into making a purchase.
Yeah.
And make videos about those things. And your whole gig in that situation is like, hey, I'm the at least some of my content, I'm the bike review guy where I'm reviewing like all these different products, but basically reviews, listicles, like we just talked about. Also, comparison videos are great. So the reason comparison videos are great is because if you can find products that people are trying to figure out which one to get. So for example, should I get man, what's that new pocket camera? Not the Pocket 3.
DJI, no.
Yeah, DJI has like a new 360 camera they put out. I can't remember the name of it. But basically,
Insta 360 and there's DJI.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's like, should I get the, Insta 360 versus DJI, whatever, watch this before you buy. Something like that. And then in that situation, the win when it comes to comparisons is that you're basically given the positives and negatives of both, and you're increasing the likelihood, you're basically doubling the likelihood of yourself making a sale, because it's not, should I get this or not? It's, I'm watching that video to figure out which one is the best so I can get that one, right? So because of that, those are also really good for, for making money. So you've got all of the infrastructure in place, like you're already doing affiliate marketing, you've already got your store and your shop set up and all that stuff. So now you just got to kind of switch gears a little bit on the actual content itself and start doing a lot more of that stuff. So you can
targeting the people that are wanting to buy.
Yeah, and you can still do don't buy a bike online before watching this, which is cool. Where you're going through some of the safety stuff and things like that. Keep doing those things, but for the I'm trying to increase my income side, start doing start making content around some of the things that we're talking about.
good.
And really, another thing that you can do too is you can also like when you are making those videos. I'm sure you're doing this already because you have the links in your description, but just in case, when you're making those videos, also just kind of take a moment in every single video that you're publishing to say, oh, and this thing right here that I'm using for this, I've got a link for it. I love this thing because fill in the blank. I've got an affiliate link for this down in my video description, right? And then with that, you're also, trying to, leverage every single video that you publish. So yeah, so hopefully that was helpful. Now I know where to go for bike accessories.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so next channel that is on our list here, we've got Shark Scrapper, my man. Looking forward to seeing you at Vid Summit. Uploads one time per week or more. They've been making videos for 1 year or more. They do infotainment. He does infotainment content, the gold channels to make money. And says, FourthWall recently contacted me about merch. I've not had great success with my merch on SpreadShop, but I also don't push my merch. Is there much difference between the two that would make it worth the switch? Other thoughts on merch? So I'm not sure.
What brand?
Huh?
What other company reached out?
FourthWall.
Oh, I just went through some stuff.
So, so I know a lot of people are using FourthWall, and a lot of people use SpreadShop as well. I'm not sure. I haven't used FourthWall myself, but I know a lot of people do. So I think it might be similar, but it doesn't cost you anything outside of a little bit of time to set up your store over there. Just kind of be like, hey, for this month, I'm going to switch it to FourthWall and see if it makes a difference at all. That might be something to consider. But what was your issue with FourthWall?
So I just want to say first and foremost that I find FourthWall's support to be incredible. I just want to put that out there.
Okay, that's important though. That's really important. What was the issue?
I have no affiliation with them whatsoever, but it's rare for me to get such amazing support, not only from the people that the support team, but from people who own the company, people who are part of making the decisions there, getting in touch to make sure you got things handled, and so on, and trying to help you figure stuff out. So I connected FourthWall. And I went there mostly because you can put digital products into FourthWall. It's not just merch. It's not just T-shirts and hats and mugs. Like you can do
digital products on SpreadShop.
So I'm not going to get into the SpreadShop thing. That's a whole nother conversation. Okay. But I went there for that. I wanted something new for that was better, and put a couple of products together, put them in, uploaded it up to YouTube, or connected it to YouTube. I went through all the process. I watched YouTube's videos on how to connect everything. The store connected, everything published, and then a day later, all of my stuff got rejected by YouTube. And it said I needed to resolve it by creating a Google Merchant account.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you told me about this.
It says I had to create a Google Merchant account. And I'm like, no. That's if I actually have a store and I'm trying to ship my own products. And I went round and round and round with YouTube support for almost 2 weeks. The entire time, the FourthWall was helping me trying to figure out what the problem was. They identified that this is a known YouTube bug. This is a known YouTube bug. Here's what you need to say. Here's how you had to handle it. And YouTube support just ran me around and around and around. They kept sending me back to Google Merchant account. And finally, FourthWall, we got it figured out, and they told me what to do and the steps. I just had to disconnect everything and reconnect it back again and re-put the stuff back in, and it all worked. But I just want to go on the record and say amazing support. It was a pain in the butt connecting it, but it was 100% YouTube's fault. And YouTube's support team on that completely dropped the ball on a embarrassing level.
Wow.
Embarrassing level. They were trying to send me, even though I was sending them screenshots that they were asking for, and they wanted me to video record the process, it would get me to the point where it would say, put in your shipping information and how you ship. And I would send it back. I'm like, look, I'm telling you, this is for if I have my own store and I'm trying to ship my own product. That's not what I'm doing. I'm using a vendor that you've already approved that plugs into YouTube shopping. I don't need this. And YouTube support was horrible. FourthWall support was solid. That's what I want to say.
Nice.
Point being, if you have the same problem,
they'll help you through it.
They'll help you through it, but the way to fix it is disconnect everything. Disconnect all the things that you put in, everything that you plug in, take all of the products out and start over and put it back in. That will fix the problem. YouTube support's going to run you in the wrong direction on that. So that's my little tidbit on that.
All right.
Yeah, a little bit of a long thing, but
no, it's good.
Yeah,
no,
excellent support. Excellent support.
So now you have FourthWall in there.
I just put a couple products in. Just I haven't gone back and redone it, but yeah. I got it
So
in
what
there.
you can do there is hit D's channel just when you get a moment. Shark Scrapper, hit D's channel for a moment and just hit one of those and just kind of see the flow that you go through there, and just kind of compare that with the flow that you go through with SpreadShop. See what you like better there. Set up a store there. See what you think about it, that kind of stuff. But I would just kind of check them back and forth. So yeah, that's good. I haven't used them yet personally, but it's great to hear that from you, D.
Yeah, Roberto says they're solid. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's rare that somebody will just keep trying to help you figure something out. Just, man, they were just on it. They were on it and on it and on it and on it and checking back in. Hey, what did they say? What did they get back to you yet? What did they say? I was like, wow, man, these guys are on it.
No, good.
Yeah.
And really quick, Bobby Hennessy says, why every time I go to search for a particular YouTube channel, it gives me shorts. Even when I move over to videos, it reverts back to shorts. I tried to find simple recipes, bold flavors, and I could not find it. Yeah, it's kind of how YouTube is, right now. They're just really putting a really strong emphasis on shorts. But the way that you fix that is, here, let me open up a YouTube channel here real quick. Let me open up YouTube search. So you're looking for simple, I guess the channel is called Simple Recipes, bold flavors.
And I'll say this too while you're looking that up. I think it was easier to create a store on FourthWall than it is on SpreadShop.
Okay.
Just my personal opinion on that. The whole process is just sometimes setting up merch can be frustrating depending on the platform you're using. I found FourthWall's process to be very intuitive. It just made sense and it was super easy. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
So I have this one that's easy recipes and bold flavors, but typically, I don't know if I'm if there's something I'm missing here with the channel name, but YouTube search has a filter option on here, and what you can do is with this filter option is you can come in and you can say, once you search for something, you can come here and you can say, I'm looking for channels on this. I'm looking for videos on this, playlists on this. I'm looking for a movie. You can also do, if you're looking for something current to where you're like, hey, I'm looking for information on a new camera or something like that. You can, or something that's happened recently. You can look in the last hour, today, this week, this month, this year. You can sort by relevance, upload date, view counts, the ratings, and by different features on YouTube. So this filter right here is a good way to just kind of narrow down your searches when it comes to, trying to find other channels. And Demon's Row, thanks for the super chat, man, says, man, it just jumped up. There we go. Says, is too much B-roll a bad thing? I told my editor I feel like he adds too much. What should the balance be? Man, there's entire YouTube channels where they don't show, faces at all. The whole thing is just B-roll, and they do fine. Yeah. So I think really just, taking what your editor's currently doing, and if you think that hey, you know what, I think he's doing a little bit much, let's kind of ease it back a little bit, then ease it back and then go and look at your retention and just kind of see how people respond to the change. Sometimes things like that, sometimes they make a difference, other times they make zero difference whatsoever. Yeah. So, because of that, have them make the changes because your content, the people that you're serving with your content, all those details. So, what you think would be the best fit, have your editor do that and then have them do it over, a handful of videos and then compare those videos to videos where you are using more heavy B-roll and just see if you notice a difference in terms of how people are responding. And little things to look for is, if I'm on camera for, X amount of time, how are people responding to that? If I'm talking about these things, if I'm showing B-roll for X amount of time, how are people responding to those, longer B-roll segments, that kind of stuff, and just start breaking all of those individual things down to, kind of get to the bottom of if it matters for, the videos that you're putting out or not. Okay, next up on our list.
Field Guide to DIY says, I was this years old when I learned about filters in search. Hashtag embarrassed.
Yeah, no worries, right? Like it's, just how it is sometimes, right?
It's not that intuitive.
Right.
I actually forget.
And by default, you're like, okay, here's the stuff that's going to show up for this thing. So let me just look through that. Unless you're thinking about it, it's really easy to overlook.
Okay, it's even worse. I know about it and I forget about it sometimes. Sometimes I'll be looking, I can't find this channel. And then I'm like, oh yeah, filters. And I have to go back up. There it is.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Kaisley, we can see your comments. You're good. Kaisley.
I don't know if they were saying, hey, where's my comments at? Or are you saying, where's my comments at?
all like, hey, let's get these comments rolling.
Where's the comments at?
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
Can you clarify?
Yep.
Your
and really quick, how we got here, Genealogy says, since going full-time self-employed in April, I met or beat some month's previous income. My September 6th, I made more than September 2025, thanks to your advice and D's. That's awesome. Really super happy to see that from you making that transition. That's great.
Hey, Ed, how you doing with them eyeballs?
Them eyeballs.
You mad eyeballing me,
mad
Ed?
eyeballing. It looks like it.
Yeah, Ed,
looks like it. Those are pointing at you, D.
Yeah, flash. Yeah, Ed, you mad eyeballing me again?
Yeah, I think so. All right. So next up on the list,
that's what they need. They need mad eyeballs in here.
They do like
so. You're right. So they've got the looking eyeballs, and they need some mad eyeballs.
That's good.
Right, just like I'm angry, like I'm giving you stink eye.
All right,
and that's what they need to call the emoji. Stink eye emoji.
So next up, we've got ESL Speaking Corner. They upload one time per week or more, but on YouTube for a year or more. They do educational content. The goal is to teach others. The question is live streaming a way to increase my watch time? I have the subs and 1,000 hours of watch now. So live streaming can increase your watch time because it is counted as long as you have people that are in your live streams, because you get the watch time from viewers, not from yourself. So as long as you have people hanging out in your live stream, yes. And as long as you leave those live streams public. If you unlist those live streams, then those don't count for your public watch time. So because of that, if you are live streaming, you got to make sure they stay public on the channel, and that, as long as you have people participating, then yeah, it will add to your time. Tom Nash in the house. It's finally time that we can get started. We're just waiting, man. We're all just kind of hanging out, talking about stuff, talking about bicycles and chia pudding, and all kinds, and B-roll, all kinds of stuff there. So glad that you're finally here. Hope you're doing awesome. Nice to see you. I guess we're ready to start now, D.
Yeah, we're waiting on you, Tom.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, so here we go, everybody. So Cathay Art says they upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. It's an art channel. Gold channels connect with others who like what I like, and says, hey, Nick, so Kathy and I, Beanie Draws, have been streaming together on her channel. Oh, okay. I got confused. I thought it was her asking the question, so sorry about that. And we're starting to slowly get our footing. What I'm curious about now is what are some strategies in order to get more reach for the live replay that can help build momentum eventually? Would it be converting the title and thumbnail to act more like a regular video? We're not looking for massive growth because slow and steady is a lot more comfortable, but learning how to get more reach and impressions for live and replays would be nice. Not sure what approach would be best for that. So the best approach...
What was that?
I dropped my ring. The best approach would be to have every live stream that you do around a topic of some sort so that people can see that from the outside, and if they are interested in that topic, they would come in, make a unique thumbnail for that live stream in order to, grab the attention of, those people that are interested in, what you guys are talking about, or sharing or showing. In addition to that, make sure that when it comes to the content of the live stream, that you're structuring it in a way to where it would also make a good replay. And the reason that you want to think about that is because the replay experience is going to feel different when somebody goes into it than the live stream experience. Because with the live stream experience, it's like loose, you have chats, you can be interacting with chat and things like that. But when it comes to the replay, all of those things aren't really possible anymore. So because of that, you need to make sure that, it also creates a good replay experience. So some things that can be helpful in that regard is, let's say you're streaming, and instead of having countdown timers and all that stuff at the beginning, but you still want to have, community shout outs, welcoming people to the stream as they're coming in those beginning parts where you're kind of, waiting for people to come in, that kind of stuff. While all of that activity is going on, have somewhere in your stream, before you get into the content, to where you say something along the lines of, if you're just joining us, we are blah, blah, blah. Or today we are, or, we're going to be showing you blah, blah, blah. And what you want to do is where you end saying the words, if you're just joining us, whatever you say next, that's going to be the actual thing that people would see on the replay. And then after the live stream is finished, you go in and you use YouTube's editor to cut that part of your live stream, and you cut off all that stuff at the beginning. You're going to lose the chat when you do this too, which will also make it feel more like a video. But you cut off all that stuff at the beginning, and then from there, you have, when the replay viewer comes in, to where they get an actual hook that comes into the video itself. So it actually feels like a video there. It'll be a loose video, right? It won't be like a tightly edited video, but that's okay. But you can do that. Other options is you can completely take that video down. You can either be recording it on your end on one of your computers or through, one of the services that you're using to stream. And then you could actually take it down, and then you could, go in, edit that video up, and then re-upload it, that way too, to where it's just like a little bit more, kind of, polished up and things like that. And then that would give you the opportunity to also intentionally create a better experience for the viewers based on that. It requires more work, but, it would give you that opportunity to start, just being a little bit more intentional. Because when it comes to live streams, they kind of happen as they happen. And, sometimes, you might do things that might be interruptive to the viewer experience. So because of that, if you're trying to use the live streams to grow the channel, then, that sort of thing can be valuable to, or helpful to, make it feel more like a video. And then that allows you to add B-roll to get better shots of, the things that you're working on, things like that. Next up. Next question, D.
Next question. Moving right along.
Yep. Next up, we've got off-the-shelf rides. Let's see what they got going on here. They do automotive reviews. The goal is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, I'm approaching 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations. Nice work.
There you go.
And updated my logo and banner. I also started making videos for a bigger channel and might bring in another audience. Should we use the new collab feature? Can you take a look and see if I need to tidy things up a bit and change things around? So when it comes to the collab feature, one thing that I would just recommend right now is as that starts rolling out, I would definitely make sure that the viewers that are interacting with their channel are also a really good fit for their channel as well, right? To where their viewers are going to be a good fit for you, your viewers are going to be a good fit for them. And then by doing that, you are making sure that the people that are interacting with both channels are a perfect fit for both of your channels. So in that way, anybody that goes back and forth, they don't subscribe just for the sake of subscribing. They subscribe because they love your content and they think it's going to be cool. So on the one channel that you posted in there, it looks like you are going to have some crossover there. I think just at a quick glance here, it looks like you're talking about similar things, so you might have some good crossover there. But let's see here. So we are going to take a quick look at your channel.
Demon Dro left another super chat with another question.
Okay. Well, we'll pull that here in just a second. Mm-hmm. And in terms of things being tidied up, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got going on here. And by the way, just a quick reminder for those of you that are just joining right now, if you have not checked out the app that I made for YouTubers yet, if you have an iPhone or a iPad, you can find that right down here. It's got all kinds of helpful tools in there to help you make better thumbnails, write better titles, just organize all the stuff that you do around your YouTube channel. Super helpful app. Make sure you check it out. You can scan the QR code if you're on a TV or computer, with your phone and go straight there. Or you can type in newcreatorapp.com. You can go there to learn more about it and also just access the App Store. And you can also just look for New Creator in the Apple App Store and it'll pop up over there too. So go check it out. You'll love it. Just go try it. Okay, so next up we've got, or not next up, but we're looking at the off-the-shelf rides here.
Brian G says,
what are your thoughts?
Brian G says, nice app, wicked.
Yep, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
All right, what am I looking at?
Yep.
So let me zoom in here.
Yep. So what we're looking at here is, oh wait, I've got the wrong. Here, let me move this one here.
Right, because all I'm seeing is spicy food.
Yep, that's not. I'm trying to keep you hungry over there.
Yeah.
Like a savage dog.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know, man. It just came out. We're streaming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bear with me. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So off the shelf rides.
Wow, those are some good-looking vehicles.
Yeah, cool trucks.
Loved it. Yeah.
Also,
yeah. Okay, so what are we doing here?
Cool-looking cars.
What are they asking?
They're just looking. Is there anything they need to kind of tidy up?
Just
here.
like an overall.
Yeah, just kind of checking them out,
here.
see what they're doing. I love that you have the strong focus on the cars. So I think it's super easy for people to identify that it clearly has something to do with the cars, which is great.
Yeah.
One thing that's just kind of grabbing my attention at a glance is this, and it could just be the interest in the car itself, but this pros and cons, is something that you did different here that it looks like people responded to.
Yeah, that really
could have been
out.
because they're interested in the car, could have been, that the content itself is better. A lot of variables, but I would definitely just check the click-through rate on this one compared to others, but make sure you are keeping the impressions, in mind because that matters. But I would definitely, look at that.
Looks like they have playlists built around those, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, another thing too is what do you mean, D? Oh, like down here. Around, the different cars.
Yeah, they're doing that for different cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
Another thing is I would, for some of these, I would take the ones that are the most popular that, that are driving the channel right now. And you can see that in your analytics. You just go log into your analytics, scroll down the page. You're going to see all the videos that are driving the channel over the last 28 days or 90 days, depending on how you sort it. Look at those videos and ask yourself, okay, based on the activity of the channel, here, what vehicles or types of vehicles are people, watching the most, and then put some additional playlist here on your channel page that will, get those people, to what they want more from quicker, or more from you quicker. Because the idea is if somebody's watching your video and then they click on your username, they land on this page, they're looking for more, stuff, is you just are basically feeding them into other content that they're likely to enjoy. So that's not going to be like a game changer for the YouTube channel. The whole game there is you're just trying to make it easy for people to find more of the content that they enjoy, right? The real wins come from the packaging, the topics, and the content. But that is something that you can do to make it easy for people to find more content. But go.
I don't know if they're already doing this because you're controlling the scroller, so I can't see everything. But the pros and cons seems to be doing well for some of those. You also have to think if somebody's in the market for a car, there's usually a second car that they might be looking at. So maybe I would try, if you don't have it already, having a this or that. Like this versus that. So you have two cars head to head for people who might be trying to figure out what,
I agree.
I might, which, if you're looking at this car, what would be the other logical car that somebody might be looking at? And I would test some of those as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other things you might want to consider too, like if you're not doing this already, is, go hop. I mean, you might just be making, I don't know if you're selling cars or what, but like you might.
It looks like they're selling cars.
Yeah, it has that look to it.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're doing, then in that case, you're probably going to make videos on every car anyway. But if not, then in that case, hopping into Google Trends and just looking for, the cars that people are interested in the most based on, what people are actually searching for around, the different cars would also be something to consider. So then every video that you're publishing is about a car that has a high interest if possible. Because again, you might just be, needing to make videos on all these. But yeah, like I think your thumbnails and stuff are cool. I think they look great. You have cool, shots of the cars, all of that. Other things I'd experiment with too is, and these are just like little, nuances, but I would A/B test some of these if you're not doing this already. Like, okay, does this like side angle, in terms of it being, kind of like a, like a 45-degree thing there? Do people seem to respond better to that compared to like a side view of the car? And I would just kind of test different, photos that you might have to see if you do find some type of thing that, does the side view help people, respond to it better, or identify it better, or does that, cool looking, car parked with the wheel turn view, does that get people to respond better? I would definitely do some A/B tests around that. Yeah, all he's doing the comparisons right here. Is the Toyota Tacoma better than the Raptor Ranger?
Okay,
there you go. Raptor, yeah. So in that particular case, that's another one where you might want to experiment also with like split but
image.
Basically this truck versus this truck, that type of thing.
Both of them in the
if you're
picture,
not doing that already, you might be doing it. All he does do A/B tests on the pros and cons. Okay, fantastic.
Okay,
yeah, and then also like on these comparisons, do A/B tests on those too with like both trucks. See if you can find something going on there. But overall, I think what you're doing, it seems to be working. Like I wish that some of these other videos had more views on them. So a couple things that I would just consider here is I would go in, because when like this one, I see that when you start it, it's a shot of the truck, and then it cuts to you on the inside of the truck here. You're kind of on the outside, like walking around. Let's look at one of these lower viewed ones here. Here you're on the outside walking around. Like I would definitely just go into the retention of these ones that are, kind of outliers on the channel and see like, okay, is there anything that I'm doing differently in these in terms of how I'm presenting this at the very beginning that I might not be doing in these? And I know the popularity of the car is going to be a big factor here, but I would look for those types of nuances as well.
Two things. One, go back up to the channel alert really quick. And this is going to be this is necessarily going to move the needle for you. But so when we've landed on this, you notice I asked, what's he doing here? Or is he selling cars? I didn't know if you were selling cars, if you were selling accessories. I didn't know what you were doing. So, and you might have that in your logo that's swirled around up there with the text. I can't tell from here.
Midwest Automotive Media Association.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing me. I still don't know. Are you selling these vehicles? Do you have a lot that people can come to, or are you just reviewing these for someone else? So I'm not 100% sure without digging into your channel exactly what you're doing. So if you could put something in your channel art or something a little bit more clear, so you're doing reviews and content, but still, are you selling them?
Right.
Are these vehicles for sale? Like, I don't know 100% what your channel is doing. Another thing, just in terms of, because he was hovering over your videos and it was just watching how some of them would start, I would try some different hooks at the beginning of it too. Like, you know, as soon as somebody clicks in, maybe you pull up and step out of the car. Try some different moving angles to start the videos with.
Make it like a little bit more performative, you mean?
Yeah. Just at the very beginning, just to kind of hook the viewer in.
That's actually a cool idea because then, you know, they kind of see it in motion and that kind of stuff too, which might
pulls
actually
up,
help
stops,
to the
you stand out of the
sellability.
car. Yeah. Just a
clever.
little bit of more entertainment to the beginning. You might be doing that already. Nick's controlling this and hovering over everything. So I'm just looking at this through a shared screen with no access to actually watch anything. But I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're doing besides reviews. Like, if I wanted to buy one of these vehicles, could I?
Yeah, I would also look for patterns again. I don't know if you have to make videos on like all these cars, but I would definitely look for patterns in like the types of vehicles that people respond to better, things like that, and lean into those if you can. But the whole goal here, you know, if you're selling cars, might just be, you know, awareness. Like I'm just trying to bring awareness to these things. If that's the case, then of course, you know, that particular thing isn't going to be there. Interesting new Hyundai.
What was he doing here?
Okay, so best practice wise, you're doing okay. Oh, good. You got affiliate links down here. This is great. Love seeing that.
Yeah.
You got your disclaimer up there. Sending people elsewhere. All that's good. Yeah. So other things too is because of the type of content this is. I mean, you've already got the you know. I think you probably are because people are probably looking for pros and cons. But for some of this, I would hop up into the autocomplete here, use something like vidIQ to try to make sure that you're titling these in ways that people are thinking about them too. I mean, there's the like ultra compelling side, kind of like what you did on your popular videos where you're like, I expose this dealership shady tactics. Like, that's interesting, right? So there's that type of thing where it's like super compelling. And then there's this type of thing where it's like informative, but not like super like, oh, I got to check out this, you know, this thing, this car.
So Scale Train Station says, Nick's highlighting description and D's going, I don't have time to read, man. Well, here's the thing. You know, I'm really big on this. I want to understand what you're doing at a glance. I don't want to have to think.
Yeah.
Like there's so much going on social media at any given time on any particular platform. It's so easy just to swipe or click and go someplace. I don't want to have to think. I want it to be crystal clear what's happening at all times.
Right. There's so many options.
Yeah, exactly.
So many options. Like it's like somebody's going to grab your attention, so that clarity can help you grab the attention.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I nitpick.
Yep.
I'm a nitpicker.
Yep. You are.
I am indeed a nitpicker.
Super chat.
Home Rapid Repair says, you're signed into YouTube. Isn't all this content viewing going to mess with your future recommendations? Yeah, it does a little bit. But it's kind of cool, though, because I do this. Sometimes, you know, like if I'm like working and I'm looking at channels, then in that case, I will, you know, change accounts sometimes. But sometimes I'll do it on my main account, too. But with that, it also will help me just get introduced to new stuff that I might not have seen, too. Every now and then, I'll run across something where I'm like, oh, that's cool. Didn't even know that was a thing. So, you know, that side of things is kind of cool.
The funniest thing that keeps happening to me, and a part of me thinks YouTube does this on purpose. I got recommended, and some of you may have seen this. You want to take that down, or are you still looking at them?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you still looking?
I thought you were
and you have
controlling the screen there.
You have
yep, already got it. I'm ready to rock and roll as soon as you stop talking. Yep.
So they recommended YouTube Shorts because all YouTube is doing now is shoving shorts into my feed. It was this realistic looking AI robot of this really pretty like Chinese woman. And I was
it a robot or a woman?
Well, that's what I wanted to know.
Oh, okay.
It was very like detailed and it looked like AI and it had like a real human. And I was like, man, did somebody make that in AI or is somebody making like a female robotic? I mean, Asia, right? They're doing some stuff. And I was like, I'm going to click and watch that. Now, normally, if you click on a short and you watch that short, you know, that's pretty good. You're going to get a little bit more recommendations. So I watched that one and I was like, okay, I think that might be AI. Let me click in and go to their channel. And I looked and they had a whole channel full of these things. I watched like one or two more. I can't get rid of them now.
They're following you around.
Yeah. So normally it's like you watch a couple things and if you lose interest or whatever, they quit doing it. YouTube is like, oh, you like those lady robotics, do you?
Take a look at this. What do you think of this one?
Every time, the day or night, it doesn't matter the device. I could probably pull up my channel right now, and it's like all these female robotic things popping up, and I'm like, no.
That's great.
I can't get rid of them. Not interested.
That's
How about
great.
this one? No. It's like whack-a-mole trying to But that doesn't happen on stuff that I'm actually interested in. Yeah, it's always the sexy robotics.
Nice.
Listen, it's the sexy robots that'll get you every time.
Yep,
Don't
every
fall
time.
for it. Don't fall for it.
Larisha and Glenn, what's going on? Hope you are doing fantastic. Sue, hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. Flash in the pan. D shouted you out earlier. Scale Train Station, what's happening? So Demon's Row has a question about live streaming. Says, I see you guys stopped doing the vertical lives. Can you give us a little info on what you learned about them? Do they hurt the channel? No. So the reason we're actually going to be doing them more here coming up soon. But when it comes to this stream, I did them a little bit at home just when the feature first came out. For me, because I show a lot of things on the screen, like these channel reviews and stuff like that, it's really hard to see those in the vertical feed. So I've kind of found a solution with it with Meld, which is a different live streaming tool. So when I do the channel reviews at home, I actually did one, I did a channel review stream yesterday, but I also did one the previous week. And with that particular one, I did do a vertical stream there too, just trying to find a way to make it to where it was a little bit easier for people to see things. Still didn't nail it, so I'm still working on it, but I'm just trying to find a way to do it so that it's just easier for people to see, like when I'm showing things on screen and stuff like that, to where it's easy for people to follow along. Because like when you're multi-streaming, you have like the full stream and then you have the secondary stream, and you're trying to manage both. And then since you're trying to manage both, like if you're sharing something on the screen, you can't necessarily, like if you zoom into a screen share, you might not necessarily zoom into the right place because it's not tracking, right? So because of that, it just makes that side of things a little bit challenging. But if it's just a talking stream, or we're answering questions, stuff like that, or with these, we're going to switch to also adding the verticals soon. But with the channel review stream experiment that I did a couple weeks ago, with that particular one, there was also another big problem, and that problem was that I have a tool that I use, as I'm sure you've seen already, to where during the live stream, if we are answering, questions or I'm sorry, when we're pulling up channels or doing giveaways, stuff like that, we have like that live stream giveaway tool. And currently that only works with like one chat option, right? That tool. So because of that, I would have people saying the word over in YouTube, over in the vertical shelf, and only the people that were putting the word into the 16:9 live stream, only those people were getting counted in that particular thing. So in addition to the complication with the, people being able to see things clearly, it was also challenging in terms of trying to get those people included. And I had to keep telling them like, hey, this only counts if you go over to the mainstream and all that stuff. So people would abandon that and go over there, which would kill the viewership on that. And it was just complicated. So that's what that was about. It wasn't about damage to the channel. It was about it's just I haven't figured out how to make it a good viewer experience yet for what it is that we currently offer. So that's what it's about.
There you go.
Probably should have started with that one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right. Sometimes you have to work those thoughts out in your head in real time.
Yeah. So let's see here. So, hey, Shark Trapper says, be careful, D. That robot will soon be serving you a coffee at Starbucks. Yeah, probably. We're getting there.
It's only a matter of time.
Yep.
I'm cool with the robotics. That'd be great. Just having a little robot come over and serve you. Yeah. It's coming.
Jerry mentions that he found the vertical live worked better when he was doing more of storytelling and less visuals, something that needs not something that needs the visuals. Yeah, because on phones, like especially when it comes like when you're taking like a 16:9 aspect ratio thing, and then you're squeezing it down so it fits into a portion of the screen, it becomes really challenging to see what's going on. So let's see here. So next up on the list here, we've got Fitness with Barbara. Fitness with Barbara. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. They do fitness content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I didn't get that many comments like others do. I've tried asking questions for people to respond to, but that doesn't do anything. How can I increase interaction with my video? So the easiest way to do it, and I'm just going to look at your channel just to kind of see the scale that you're at right now in terms of the amount of views that you have coming in. Okay, so this is why. So right now you're just not at with a lot of the videos. So you have this one here that has like 1.7 thousand views on it, and another one a few videos away from that has 1,000. Looks like every handful of videos that you do, you break that 1,000 mark. So those particular videos, just based on scale, is likely to, just have more comments just based on more people interacting with it. So, so when it comes to that, make sure in every video, and I'm sure you're, doing this already. Actually, I'm going to give you another tip here. Hold on, I'm just seeing what you're doing.
Are you pulling them up?
That wasn't too bad. Just really quick, you have this intro. I'm not going to pull them up, but you have like this little slow moving like logo thing that happens when your video first opens. I would definitely remove that and just have it like the video that I'm looking at is the Japanese 3x3 walk. So simple that it works. I would here. I am going to show it here just so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm not showing it again. Hold on.
Wrong one.
Yeah, I've got 2 windows here that I'm working with.
You'll figure it out. You can do it.
You can do it. So this right here.
Yeah.
Like I would completely lose this. And if you want to start it with like information in terms of what the exercise is going to be, having something like this as you're talking under it or something like that is perfectly fine.
Split screen, maybe.
Yeah, something like that, so that people know what's going to be involved. Because I know a lot of fitness channels do that. But I wouldn't waste the that valuable, precious time at the very beginning with stuff like this, because you're trying to get people into the content. And I know it's only 2 seconds, and you're probably like, dude, it's only 2 seconds, relax. But those things matter when people are coming in. There's also the autoplay when people hover over the video. So I would definitely, just kind of, I would definitely remove that. And if you wanted to start it here, maybe a split screen so they can see you're in it and all that stuff, that would definitely be stuff that I experiment with. But in terms of more comments, let me see if you're getting any. Yeah, so you have 5 comments in here. So it looks like, some of these are you responding, and then some of them is them also, which is fine. So just in your video, one thing that I would do is, I'm not sure exactly how you're asking for comments, but if you say something, and I'm going to kind of phrase this in a way to where it kind of applies to everybody here, just because I don't know exactly what you're saying. But in your video, it's more effective to have people answer a question than it is to tell them to leave a comment. So if you are telling people to leave a comment, they have to try to think about, okay, so I want to leave a comment. What do I want to leave a comment about? Hey, I like the color of your shoes. Where'd you get those? Hey, what did you think about? Were you tired after this exercise? This exercise exhausted me. Whatever the thing is, they have to put more energy into that versus you saying something somewhere after the video gets started, maybe like a minute or 2 in. And keep in mind, people are also probably following along with this, so they might not be able to engage immediately. So because of that, you might want to make sure you save your comments for as soon as the exercise is complete. But basically, when people are watching this, if they're participating and watching the whole thing, which you can see in your retention, then if they are, as soon as the exercise is finished, ask them something super easy they can answer. Like, hey, let me know in the comments what you found to be the hardest part, of this exercise. And then from there, that just makes it to where they know exactly the question that they need to answer. And then that sort of thing can help people, add more comments. But with what it is that you're doing, because if people are watching along and they're engaged with you while they're commenting, like let's say you're in like this part of the, video, then in that case, like they're not thinking about commenting. So if you ask somebody to comment then they're in motion right there. They're probably watching this on their TV or something, and they're not going to be able to comment. So because of that, making sure that you are asking them at the right time. So as an option for you, while you're, doing the very beginning stuff, you could mention something here where you're like, hey, today we're going to be doing this, let me know in the comments before we get started, or as we're getting started, or as you're getting warmed up, if you can, let me know in the comments if you've ever done the Japanese 3x3 walk before. And then when you're at the end, then right here, I mean, once it's finished, you should quickly try to recommend, something else that might be of value to them. But after they just did a 27-minute workout, they're probably not going to do another one, but maybe they will. But, at the end of this is where you would say, something where you would ask a question. So, hey, let me know, what you thought of this workout down in the comments. Let me know if you, had trouble with this. Just ask one question. Let me know what you thought was the hardest part of this. Let me know what you thought was the easiest part of this. Anything like that is a good way to generate comments, because then you're leading them into the comment section to simply answer a question. And really after the exercise too, they're probably, they're probably, pumped up a little bit or tired, but they're into what it is that you're doing, right? So because of that, I think asking for that comment like later in the video, once you are, kind of closing the whole thing, the actual exercise down to where it would make sense for them to be able to leave a comment, would be the place to do that. And one more thing just to consider is I would also go into your analytics for some of your videos, all your videos actually, and I would just look to see where your viewership is coming from. And the reason for that is because, when you're watching YouTube on TVs, you got to leave comments on your phone. So because of that, you want to make sure that that it's even possible for people to leave comments. Like if you find that you have something like 90% of TV viewership, then you got to consider that when it comes to the comments, because then they can't just go and leave a comment like they can on my video if they're watching on a mobile phone or a computer. On your video, if they're watching mostly on a TV because they're following along, in that particular case, then in order to leave a comment, they might have to actually go and pick up their phone, which is like a whole other energy thing there in terms of the efforts that they have to put in to leave a comment. So in a case like that, if you find that most of your viewership is TV viewership, then it is mostly on a TV. Okay. Yeah. Then in that case, just considering that it's just not the easiest thing when it comes to leaving a comment on a TV. And because of that, you might end up getting lower comments on your videos. But it's okay. Right. So when it comes to YouTube, like the comments are great when it comes to community. Right. So that part's awesome. However, if you are teaching people the exercises and it's challenging for them to, engage, then in that case, as long as they're finding value in your content and they're following along for the exercises and your retention shows that like, hey, once we start going here, people are sticking around for this, then you're doing the right thing. What YouTube cares about is some of those engagement things. Absolutely. Like, do you have people liking your videos? Yes or no? Those types of things are factored in, but they're also factoring where people are watching from. So as long as people are engaging highly with your videos on TVs, then in that case, YouTube is going to be caring about, are people clicking on this and are people watching this for a long period of time? And if the answer is yes to that, then your videos are probably going to do okay, even if they have lower engagement compared to, other content on YouTube. All right. So next up on our list here, we've got Gardening with Bear Brown. Gardening with Bear Brown uploads one time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. He does educational content. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and to be a full-time creator. And the question is, what are your thoughts on posting on TikTok? Do you fear any security issues from posting on it? I've been on the fence about it, but I'm leaning into doing it. Or am I just overthinking it? So when it comes to TikTok, I have no fears at all. And I know that some people are really concerned about like, oh, China's gonna, get my information and like all this stuff. For me personally, like I don't care about any of that. Like I carry this thing with me everywhere, and I carry this with me. I don't carry this with me everywhere, but this goes, a decent amount of places with me. I got my tablet that I carry, when I go to get coffee, things like that. I've got, Alexa, I like all of these things. So like, I'm getting tracked, in every possible way anyway. So because of that, like, I'm really not concerned about any of those things. Like somebody's always getting the data, and I really don't care who, as long as it's not a hacker that's actually, trying to, actively, do something against me. So, for me personally, I feel no threat whatsoever. If I was like, if I had a government job and I was going into like top secret stuff or, something like that, in that case, yeah, I probably wouldn't, publish videos to TikTok, or if I did, I probably would have a different device that I did it from. If I had like a job like that. But when it comes to, me and my life, yeah, I have no concerns whatsoever with publishing to TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, since I left the CIA, I don't care either.
Yeah, right. Since you quit being a spy.
Since I quit being an international spy.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, an international man of mystery, baby.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I think we live in a really weird time when it comes to data. We were talking about this earlier. Within a period of 48 hours, I had to do, and I know a lot of you have already done this, but this is the first time I had to do it for accounts, where you had to do the face scan I had to do the face scan for Instagram, and I had to do the face scan for YouTube.
Yep.
The whole, move your head up and look over to the right. And while I was doing it, I was like, this is so going to be used in a bad way. You're
feeding this to something.
Yeah, I mean, my face is already out there, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
You can watch my videos. I'm out there, but it's just like that extra turn to the side. It almost feels like, I mean, I get what they're doing, the safety and all of that stuff, but at the same time, we don't have privacy anymore.
Right.
Like that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
That ship is gone.
Yeah.
So, if it's the United States or if it's Germany or if it's Mexico or if it's Ecuador or if it's Botswana
or if it's aliens, whatever.
Or if it's China or whatever, man.
Right.
They're going to get the stuff. It's going to be traded and sold and black marketed and everything else. Like that ship has sailed. The best thing you can do at this point, I believe, is just don't do anything bad on the internet.
Right.
Like that. Just be a good person. Try not to get caught up in anything and just cross your fingers and hope for the best because privacy, it's gone.
Yeah, how we got
It's
here,
gone.
Genealogy says, be careful, the CCP is going to know your Starbucks order.
Yeah,
CCP is going to be like, oh, we're going to get him now.
Yeah.
He has a grande Americano with some oat milk. We're coming for him.
We got him.
Yep, we got him. Yep, that's what we needed. Yep. The world's ours now.
We got him.
Yep.
Yeah.
EJ Toon, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Welcome to the stream. Scale Train Station says Dee's job in the CIA was to blind Chinese spies. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Back when I was with Treadstone, but we don't talk about that.
Oh man.
Yeah, actually, I think I've ordered coffee in China at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, right. Like actually in China.
Yeah, they know what I ordered.
They have us on CCTV in China.
Yeah.
And then Jerry says the risk of social engineering is really what is the bigger social concern. Yeah, even that.
Yeah.
Like, like there's already, like troll farms and like, all these things, like even that. Like
that
it's
ship
not
has sailed, man.
Yeah, we're way past the point of return on that.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I welcome it. It's going. All the stuff that we're all worried about, we ushered it in. We gave it all of our information, and now we get to sit back and enjoy the convenience of giving that stuff over, and wait, crossing our fingers and hoping for the best.
Yep.
We did it. They gave us the stuff, and we signed up for it.
Yep. People are like,
we checked every box and
we're switching all of our payments to digital from our devices that we carry with us everywhere, so they can track literally every transaction that we make instead of cash. I'm all in. I'm all in. Let's do it. And then now people are like, oh well, privacy's these. The Chinese are going to get you.
Yeah. So, fun fact: I know those of you living in the U.S., you're not there yet, and depending on where you're at in the world, you might not be there yet. But here, which was to be like one of the last places in the world that you would suspect this, you don't have to carry cash.
Yeah.
100% of every transaction that I make for the past.
I think the States is like that now too. Yeah.
For the past 2 years, I don't carry cash.
Yeah.
Every
I think the
transaction
States is like that too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Every transaction. Well, I still use cash when I go to the States. I still use cash when
I use the phone like when I go to
every single transaction I make is all done through an app. Every single one of them. It doesn't matter what I'm paying. Everything. Yeah. So they got us. Well done, people.
Yep.
They got us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm okay with it. I mean, it is what it is. Like I'm not doing it. I'm not Jason Bourne. I'm okay with it.
Yep. So let's see here. So next up on the list, Next up on the list here, we've got.
I tried Shark Scrapper.
Just Wood. They upload one time per week or more, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do gaming content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator.
Yeah, so they're saying USA is like that now.
Okay. Yep.
So Monique still carries cash. Yep. All bills.
Yeah, I know in the UK, the same thing over there. I didn't pull out cash like once in the UK.
So I was dealing with a payment processor for something, and they wanted me to confirm that I owned a bank account, and they asked me that one of the ways to confirm was to send them a check, to show them a check.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I laughed. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's 2025. Like we're civilized people. We don't do checks anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I just thought that was like the weirdest thing to ask. Do you guys, wherever you guys live, do you still do checks?
Yeah.
Paper? That's so bizarre.
It is.
Yeah.
But they say that December will be my first year creating my channel. And the question is, when I post content on Facebook, I consistently hit around 500 to 1,000 plus views within 24 hours. But on YouTube, the views do not compare. How can I funnel viewers to YouTube instead of Facebook? So this challenge right here is a really hard one to crack, because when people are on a platform, like if you look at your own history, in terms of how you interact with, the internet. If you open like the Facebook app, or you log into facebook.com and, you're like, hey, I'm going on to Facebook, then you're probably, wanting to be on Facebook. If you open YouTube, you're probably wanting to, kind of sit back and watch some content or entertain yourself quickly with some shorts. If you hop into, Discord, you're probably wanting to hang out in there. And the problem is, like, if people are going into those apps, they're going to those apps for a reason. Maybe like if they're on Facebook, they're also going in there to check in with, people and stuff like that. So the goal shouldn't be necessarily to funnel people from Facebook. The goal should be, how can I get my content to perform better on YouTube, right? So the whole thing there is, you have to learn how to work within YouTube's ecosystem, so that when you publish videos on YouTube, you don't have to even worry about sending people over from Facebook. And then there, in your Facebook videos, you can have something, kind of like, let me add this real quick. You can add something like this to your videos, to where this is like a little promo for my app, but you can add something like this to where, instead of like over here where I say like, try my iPhone app at YouTuber, for YouTubers at newcreator.app, instead of saying that, you might have like your channel logo over here, and then over here you might have, like your YouTube channel handle with like a little YouTube logo, like a Facebook, logo with your page there, like a TikTok or Instagram, logo with your thing there. And then by adding this type of thing, you are subtly, without having to say anything and without having to, verbally tell people like, oh, go check me out here. For the people that are really into your stuff, that are like, oh, wow, this is great, I want to follow them everywhere. Those people will see that. And then they will, be like, oh, sweet, didn't even know they had a YouTube channel, and then they'll go check it out over there. And then from there, when they're on YouTube, then, if they go and hunt your channel down and they subscribe over there, then there's a really good likelihood that YouTube's at least going to test your content against them if they've hit the channel and they've, subscribed to maybe watched a video or so. So that's kind of the move there.
We have a handful of people who still use checks, or know somebody who does. That's really surprising.
Yeah, it is.
That's really surprising. Yeah. KJ,
I honestly didn't even know they still were like an option.
I didn't either. That's why I laughed at the, wow.
Yeah, and by the way, get my app if you haven't yet. Go check it out.
KJ Lumber says, I'm a check man.
Okay, so next up.
Wild.
We've got Skatha. Skatha uploads when they have time, been on YouTube for a year or more. They do gaming content. Did I do this one already? No. Okay. And the question is, to get even more views based on the first overview of the channel, I do long, shorts, lives, and work full time. So budget for editors, etc., out of the question. Okay. So basically, you're trying to get more views on your YouTube channel. So let's do a quick look here and just kind of see what it is that you have going on. And I'm probably going to click the wrong window here. Hold on.
You got him?
Yep.
Checks don't exist in the UK. There you go. As they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Are you pulling them up? I don't see them.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just looking at what it is that they're doing here. Just making sure everything's like family friendly. Because with gaming stuff, it can be gory sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so right here, just really quick, like, you're, getting, looks like most, with the exception of this one, which it'll get there, it looks like, you are, getting okay views on your channel. You've got, almost 9,000 subscribers, which is cool. So you're heading in the right direction. Give me 1 second, let this load, just so I can see how often you're uploading and all that good stuff. So, okay, so yeah, you're uploading on a regular basis over the last 90 days, longest gap, 15 days. So yeah, you're pretty consistent on the channel, which is good. So one rule of thumb, and you might have done this already, but one rule of thumb is when you have a video, do exceptionally better, like this one here that you have of this Golden Katana's Assassin's Creed Shadows video, and you might have done this already. But a rule of thumb is like when you have a video like this pop, I'm seeing if you're doing all Assassin's Creed. Oh, you are. You're just focused on Assassin's Creed. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, basically looking at those videos that do, substantially better and being like, okay, is there anything here that I can, chase this with that would be a perfect fit for those viewers? And then doing so. So you're looking for that video. Okay, here it is. Assassin's Creed Shadows. So This particular video has 27,000 views on it. It might be a timing thing. Like, I don't know if they had something where they released this or something like that, which, you know, is possible. But if not, if this is just like a normal video that you uploaded as part of your cadence, and this one did substantially better, this video has a lot of clues in it in terms of things that you did right here that people responded well to. So the very first thing that I would do is just from, you know, your understanding of the game and the viewers and all that stuff, is I would go into this and start looking here and start looking at what you did differently here in terms of what you did differently on some of these other videos. And like from the outside, you know, like I think some of the imagery that you're using and stuff like that is fine. You're leveraging the Assassin's Creed logos, which I just want to bring it to your attention that like with your Assassin's Creed logos on here, with the imagery, like, you know, some of these I think is okay, but like if you're going to leverage the logo on here, it should be big enough to where if this is viewed at a smaller size, it's still going to stand out to people, because there are some features on YouTube, depending on devices, where, you know, content does show up smaller, so or thumbnails show up smaller. So because of that, you know, if you're leveraging the logo, try to make it big enough to where even at a small size, somebody's going to be able to see it. But focusing on that and then the imagery is definitely, you know, something to do. But when it comes to the content itself, I would look and just kind of see what it was that you were doing in this video. How did you start it? What were you showing? What were you saying? Was there music playing? Yes or no? Were you, you know, kind of starting a story that you were getting into? You know, what did you do right after, you know, look in your retention, see how people responded. And then, you know, like, what did you do right after the intro that kept people, you know, going? And by intro, I just mean video starting. You know, what did you do, you know, through the entire video, and just look structurally and then see if there's, you know, any way that you can repeat that. If you're not doing that already, you know, that would be something to do as well. And then also just looking to see where the views came from on this, you know, because, you know, in this case, you might have gotten some views from search for this. You might have gotten some views from the homepage, you know, suggested videos, external. If you do find that it's from, you know, home pages and suggested or anywhere, you know, recommendation system wise, then like really digging into the retention on this and being like, okay, how did, you know, like exactly what did I do? And is there a way to replicate it, is definitely from a structure standpoint, is definitely something to consider as well.
Next.
Yeah, I'm just looking here really quick.
Looking for...
Yeah, other things too is just make sure, you know, you are taking advantage of YouTube's features, because like when you have videos do better like this, you got 197 comments, which means you had 197 people come down here into this area, and you had the opportunity here to send people into another video. So, you know, you can write comments, and after you write that comment, and you post it, you can hit this 3-dot menu over here and you can pin that comment. So you can say like, you know, check out my other, you know, Assassin's Creed videos here. Or, you know, if there's a specific thing that you're doing here and maybe there's a next step or another part to this, then in that case, just leading people into that from this pinned comment is definitely something that you can do, to where it can kind of feed some other videos as well when you have videos that, you know, do better than others. Here, also making sure that you're not just using your most recent video in your end screen, but making sure that you are thinking about, for the people that watch this video, like what is it about this video that I think, and do this for every video when it comes to your end screens, you know, what is it about this video that I think, like what, for the person that watched this video, what other content do I have on my YouTube channel that I think would be a perfect fit for this viewer? Do I have a video, or do I have enough videos that I can make a small playlist and then lead people into that playlist from my end screen, from my pinned comment, and then also making sure that you also have other playlists as well that you link to here in your video description also. But, you know, this video right here is gonna give you a lot of clues. And in addition to that, you have other popular videos on your channel, because you got like 9,000 subscribers. Hold on, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, just looking for something recent. Yeah, a month. This one here seems to be the one that you might want to kind of go off of right now. And then you got another one here 5 months ago. So, you know, that's within like a close range there. It's a little bit outside, but, you know, it's pretty close. So I would definitely look at these two and just look at what you were doing in there, see if you can find any similarities between these two that you might be able to kind of lean into for structuring the other videos. And also, because you do have some of these other videos here that have done well, also just kind of looking, saying like, oh, I noticed these patterns in these. I wonder if any of those, you know, were applied here, and I didn't notice when I was doing it. But yeah, looking for those types of things.
Next. Mm-hmm. Bada-bada.
Bada-bada. Okay, next up on our list, we've got Cosmic Quest Hobbies, Cosmic Quest Hobbies, uploads when they have time, been on YouTube for a year or more. They do scratch building spaceships. Oh, scratch building spaceships and dioramas with a background story. That's cool.
Interesting.
Gonna see them flying around the sky.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're responsible for the drone stuff that was happening. I think it was like last year over in the States.
That's them.
Yeah, it's them. They're like, yeah, I just build spaceships in my spare time, flying, out into, flying past the space station, stuff like that.
We got them.
Yeah. So let's see here. The goal is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, I'm getting ready to start my next video, and I was wondering if there's anything that I could do better with my thumbnail images of my builds. My click-through rate is around 3.5. Could you possibly take a look and let me know what you think? Let's take a look. See what you got going on.
Peeking.
Just adding it here. Okay, so D is actually into like this type of stuff. Not spaceships per se, but people like building stuff. D, what are your thoughts in terms of...
I'm into spaceships too.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so one thing just really quick. So if are
these all models? Are they drawing them or are they models?
No, these are models, it looks like. Yeah, they're models.
Okay.
Okay, so trying to increase the click-through rate. D, go.
Well, okay. At a glance, I wasn't sure based on your hand positions if you were painting these. Like, again, I'm just glancing. I didn't see your channel art. I don't see your channel name. All I'm seeing is what Nick has on the screen right now. And that's why I asked, is he painting these? Or it's like, I didn't know if you were drawing, because some people make very realistic looking artwork. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And based on what you were doing with your hand, I wasn't sure what you were doing there. I would, at a glance, I would A/B test these not on a dark background. I would A/B test them actually on your modeling background. So it's 100% clear that this is something that you're building. I would test that against whatever it is that you're doing now. And if they are spaceships, I would also test them against a background that puts them in space. So if you're putting a background on it, like get some sort of a background with some really cool stars or nebula or something like that, just to test it. Like if that's where you're going to go with these, with some of the black backgrounds, I would test that. But first and foremost, if you're trying to attract model builders, I would show that you're actually building this like on your desk. That would be my first thing, because at a glance, I wasn't sure what you were doing. I thought maybe you might be actually drawing these. So that's my first impressions with, in a vacuum, just looking at the individual thumbnails.
Yeah, so I think those are good tips. Also, just another thing that I noticed here is you have these videos, and I know that you're not uploading a lot, but like when it comes to these videos over here, because you have like which ship will Lily choose. One thing that you have to remember when it comes to, these types of things is like it's cool adding personal stuff like this to your content, but try not to do it from the outside. And the reason for that is when it comes to things like this, like who you're trying to connect with is people that are interested in, building,
spaceship models.
Like spaceship models, right? And because of that, there's nothing here. Like you have combat vessel versus cargo ship, things like that. But what somebody's really going to see here when this shows up on their homepage or suggested videos, what they're really going to see here is the dog. Yeah. And there's nothing here that actually shows the models at all. So because of that, instead of doing this, I wouldn't do anything about Lily Decides 3 or any of that stuff. I would actually do it more around the models that you're building, and then just make this mention in the video itself if you're going to add this theme. So for example, in the video, like once they click in, the whole thing is like, which one of these is better. Then in that case, when the video actually comes in, that's where you would say, I built these models, I'm trying to pick which one's best. I would love to know what you think is best in the comments as I preview these, but I'm also going to let my dog Lily, choose one of these two. And then, kind of go that route to see how people respond to it. But that might be why you haven't done it again in a while, because they didn't respond to it. But when it comes to the outside, just remember you're trying to connect with people that are into those things. So show them those things, right? So that they can easily identify it when it shows up next to other content on YouTube. Because one thing that I want you to think about is like, let's say that, somebody sees, this thumbnail, with Lily, and then right next to it or right under it is a video where somebody's clearly building, something, spaceships or anything else that they might be watching people build, then in that particular case, that's going to instantly take the attention, unless they're a dog lover. It's going to instantly take the attention, from those people and pull them into that video instead of yours, right? If they're wanting to watch something like that in that moment in time. So it's about, helping people identify the thing that they care about, which in this case would be the models that you're building. But I also agree with what Dee said about it, just A/B testing and just seeing if you can find if people respond to it better or not. But A/B testing like real environment photos versus doing the cutouts with the full black backgrounds and stuff. Because I think the thumbnails look cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think they have a cool look to them.
I agree.
But I think that just experimenting and seeing like, okay, are people wanting these professional things, or if I show them that environment in the background, does it help people identify that I'm actually building this?
Yeah, and I don't know if you're doing it already because he took it off screen, but I would make sure that you're using terminology in your titles as well, because he just pulled up the one for the dog, and it just talked about the vessels, and it didn't say anything about scratch building. So okay,
right here,
you
Scratch
are
built this sci-fi fighter, to protect Earth.
Okay, so here's another thing. I would work. So you have the hyphen in there, Scratch built. I would see what's actually working. Like, what are the biggest channels doing? Are they making that one word? Are they two words, hyphen, no hyphen? Just to make sure that you get that right. Yeah, Scratch build. Yeah, I would make sure in all of your titles you have something about that if you don't already.
Okay. So next up on our list here.
Those look cool, though.
They do.
I'm actually
super cool.
Yeah, I'm going to check your channel out later.
So we've got Introvert in Alaska. They upload when they have time, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do lifestyle content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is tips to grow a lifestyle channel. So when it comes to lifestyle channels, I'm actually going to see, because people define this a little bit differently than others. So I'm just going to see really quick what you're doing here. The rule of thumb when you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, just really quick, is to make sure that you make content about things that people care about. Make sure that you are, using imagery in the thumbnail that helps people identify that content is about something that they care about quickly at a glance. And then, based on the topic of the video about making content people care about, making sure that you are writing titles that also, express that. And then when they click on it, make sure you're giving them excellent content. And that you are continuously on the path of learning how to make good content and how to package that content up. And that you spend a considerable amount of time studying the lifestyle niche if you're trying to grow a lifestyle channel, and looking at every type of lifestyle channel to make sure that what it is that you are doing is competitive with what it is that's currently out there. And you can look at big channels, look at channels that are just a little bit bigger than yours, that are getting more views than you, that kind of stuff, in order to figure out what's working right now within the niche. But I'm just going to take a quick look here. How to create an abundance mindset by focusing on the positive. Come to a micro needling appointment and a tattoo appointment. Part 30, how I'm starting a YouTube channel in midlife with no experience. Scenic Alaskan Road. Okay. So there's a issue here. So what you're doing is more of just like a personal vlog, right? So the issue that you're running, or that you can find yourself in a situation like this, is that yes, you can grow vlogs without question on YouTube. But the thing is that when it comes to the vlogs, is talking about things that that people would be likely to watch another video from you about. So, here you have a mind tool for abundance. Here you have micro needling and tattooing. Here you have starting a YouTube channel. Here you have scenic Alaskan road trip. So out of these 4 videos, the person that watches this road trip video, unless they just, unless they're just like, wow, she's amazing, then in that case, when you publish this video, if they don't care about anything related to, having a YouTube channel, anything like that, then they're not going to care about this video. You'll get new people in that, might care about YouTube. But then when you make this microneedling video, the people that watch these 2 videos, there's based on topic itself, the people that watch these 2 videos may or may not be likely, I would say, or not likely to, watch this video and so on. So because that, trying to think of like what aspects of my life can I share to get the momentum going, right? To get the momentum going on my channel, what aspects of my life can share to where if somebody watches one video that they are going to be likely to watch the other one. So for example, you're on this road trip here, you're doing a road trip here. Let's see if you're doing more road trips. Here you got a YouTube, up here you got a YouTube. So in this case, being like, hey, let's do, road trip videos, or like spending the afternoon with me. This is another thing that's important to think about when you're doing this type of content, is when it comes to YouTube, right now, based on, the people that you have coming back to the channel, right? Spending an afternoon with me doesn't mean a lot when it comes to somebody that's never seen you before. And as of this moment in time, you don't have the social proof in terms of people being like, a lot of people find this person interesting, apparently, because this has a lot of, views on it. So let me check this out, right? So because of that, trying to reframe some of these when you're publishing videos more about the viewer, and thinking about this when you're making the videos too, because everything has to match up, right? But thinking about it more from the lens of the viewer, like, okay, why would somebody, want to spend the afternoon with you, right? And I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying, like a stranger, why would one stranger want to spend time like an afternoon with, somebody else? In terms of, the spend the afternoon with me, what makes the me part about that important to somebody that doesn't know you, right? So thinking about, here you have my son's tattoo appointment antique store, which is also, kind of, broken up. But if you were to change that, in terms of when you're making the video, you're like, okay, we're going and we're getting a tattoo here for my son. And because of that, we're going to make this a vlog about going to get a tattoo. And then you also have your micro needling, which might also, work with that tattoo crowd. But basically in that case, asking yourself, okay, here, let's focus this video on something. And that thing is going to be taking my son to get a tattoo. And then here, it's going to be, even saying like my son, you're still kind of, making it about you. And I know that it is about you being a lifestyle vlog, but you still need to make it about the viewer in some way right now. So, making it more to where my son's tattoo appointment, no. You won't believe the tattoo that my son got, right? Something along those lines. I would work on that a little bit because that's not a great one. But the idea is to make it more about the viewer. Like, oh, why wouldn't I believe this? Well, this seems, interesting, all of a sudden. And just trying to kind of reframe the packaging on your videos in a way, and the content itself, in a way to where it's more focused, on the viewer. So for example, in this video, I'm not sure how you started, but in that particular case, you might start the video saying, son's never had a tattoo before. We're going to take him, show him a tattoo. I've gotten tattoos. I know what to expect, but, they've never been through it before. If you've never gotten a tattoo, then, you're going to learn a lot during this video. If you have, then, you're going to enjoy, you're going to enjoy watching them go through this process, something along those lines. And then, take them through that process of everything you guys are going to go do to get that tattoo. Right. And then by doing that, what you're doing is you're just making it more about the viewer and the experience that they're having with the content, so that, so that they can be like, oh, hey, they come into the video based on, things that they find interesting. They meet you, they go through that process with you, and then they're done with that video and they can go watch another one, or they can leave. And then when YouTube recommends that next video to them, then hopefully they'll come in and watch that, as long as it's in alignment, again, with things that they care about. And then once you start having more regular viewers come back to the channel, to where you're like, okay, now I'm starting to get momentum. My average view counts are starting to rise on my videos. Now, if I go and I look at my returning viewers on my channel, I have a decent amount of people that are coming back, like, with most of the videos that I publish. So because of that, let me try to, start stepping into that thing where I'm like, hey, now I do a video about, spend the afternoon with me, and then see if I have many returning viewers come into that. And then you start testing the waters that way once you start getting that consistent viewership of people that keep coming back in because they enjoy the content that you're publishing, right? So you look at it more as like a process there. So I'm making everything about the viewer. Like, it's always about the viewer. But, for starters, I'm making these initial videos completely about the viewer, and then, and ensuring from an interest standpoint that every video that I'm publishing is something that would align. And then once I get people continually coming back to the channel, then I start kind of, if you want to make it, about you, then that's the time that I start, making, more videos that are more framed around me and what it is that I'm doing specifically. And then that's also where you can start kind of stepping out of the interest bubble and saying, okay, if I have a lot of people that are coming back as regular viewers, then let me try making a video that's a little bit outside of what it is that I normally make and see if people come back in for me or see if it's the topics that's bringing people in, right? So it's just a process. And you got to start with bringing people in initially based on what they care about. And then as you start having a lot of returning viewers, then that gives you the opportunity to do some of those other things.
Long answer.
It was.
Good.
So let's see here. So next up, we've got...
got a new channel member.
Day Walks, what's going on? Hope you are going great. Welcome to the Niminati. Make sure when you get the chance, you go to niminvip.com. It's on the screen right now. It's going to redirect you to the Facebook group if you're interested in that. We also have if you fill out the information there before the stream is over, then we'll get you in after the stream. If you have a Discord, then in that case, make sure that you also join in the Discord side. Personally, I like the Discord side better, and the reason for that is because, like, any questions that you ask, it's actually threaded in there, so it's just really easy to, to be able to isolate the conversation on the question and stuff like that. But if you have Discord, make sure that you connect on Discord with the channel that you joined with, and then that should pop up for you. And then on the Facebook side, if you're interested in that, then we'll see you over there too. Okay, so here we've got Introvert in Alaska. I did that one already. Next, we got Life with Ricky. Life with Ricky. They upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for less than a year. They do family comedy skits. The goal is to have fun. The question is, should I be keeping my shorts descriptions to be less than 100 characters? As of this moment, I'm packing my shorts descriptions with paragraphs of SEO keywords with good success. Just wondering if I may see a jump even more if I reduce them. So when it comes to your descriptions on shorts, like, all those things are taken into context, and sometimes viewers look at them, but it's kind of hard to get to on shorts. But, putting them in there is perfectly fine. I wouldn't necessarily look at it. Whoa, I just had my tool completely change on me. That's weird. Did it change here too? It did. Oh, I know why. But basically with that, weird. I have it on arrow. Anyways, so I have it, sorry, just,
all right.
Yeah, I was like looking at that and then doing this. Okay. So yeah, so when it comes to shorts, keep filling out your descriptions in shorts if you want, but everything that's really going to matter is just how people respond to the content itself. But the title of your shorts, that kind of stuff can help it show up in certain places in like YouTube search and stuff like that. So having that context in there can be helpful a little bit. But when it comes to the performance of the shorts overall, everything that matters there is how people respond to it when it shows up to them. So because of that, the actual title of the short itself is something that the viewer will consider when it first pops up and they're trying to figure out what it's about. So because of that, that title is important. So focus the most on the video content and then on the title itself, and then worry about anything that you're going to do in the video description. Next up, we've got Jive Dancing.
Jive Dancing?
Jive Dancing, yep. They upload one time per week or more. It's entertainment content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, where do I get good dancing music to make long videos?
Dancing music?
Dancing music. Yeah. Do we have any dancing music on Creator Mix?
We have like some EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Depends on what kind of dancing. Yeah.
What type of
jive dancing. They said that. Yeah.
You could, if you were looking for original music, you could use Suno. You need to use a paid version of Suno if you want to
make their own. Yeah.
Suno was doing some incredible stuff, but here's the thing: you have to use the paid version.
Yeah.
If you want commercial rights to be able to use it. If you use the free version, even if you use the free version first, and you're like, "Wow, that's really good. I want to use it."
Yeah. People get copyright strikes if they do this wrong.
Right. You have to go. Anything that you make while it's free, even if you upgrade later, anything made free, they can get you for it. They can come back and claim it or give you a copyright strike. So you want to have a paid service and then watch some videos on how to prompt over there, and you can make your own. They're doing some really, really cool stuff.
People are getting really creative.
Yeah, really creative. Yeah, you can do instrumentals. You could do in the light. Some bands it will reject, but you can say in the likeness of or similar to, and you could try to put in different artists. Sometimes they let them go by. Some of them are blocked, some of them are allowed, but man, you can make some really cool stuff over there.
Next up, we've got Your Aunties Could Never. Let's see here. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for a year or more. They have a podcast. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. The question is, what do you think we are missing in order to get over 10,000 views? So let's see here. We'll take a look at the channel here. And I would actually have to have like back-end access for that question. But I'll share what we can see on the surface level here. Okay, so let's see here. I want a baby in marriage, dating in your 40s and 50s.
You still have introvert in Alaska up.
Yep, did it again.
Yep, way to go.
Yeah, let me move this window over here, and that might make it. You know, probably because I keep going to this one. Let me move this one over here, and then I'll move that one over there. There we go.
That's the right one.
Yep. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this one and reshape it, and then I won't do it. There we go. Got it. Okay. So, here, Your Aunties Could Never. Oh, over 10,000 subs. Okay. Or maybe over 10,000 views. Okay, so really quick, Enemies of Progress, Social Guests, Anti-Ventions, News, and Nonsense. Okay. Aunties Could Never, YCN Podcast, Ask for Nana. Okay. Ugly, Nomi, Piola called Ugly, Black People, Beauty Standards Discussed. Okay, that one did well. The Truth About Gal Clowns and Wasting Black Women's Times. Are you a gal clown? Men who do that too much. Clever to publish that one after you publish this one that did better. I Want a Baby and Marriage, Dating in your 40s and 50s. Okay, so you guys are talking about all kinds of stuff. Gatekeeping, Caribbean Culture. It's pathetic, but here's hope. Dr. Umar Grifter. The Truth About Person. I think I don't know if gal clowns is a person. Hold on, don't be a gal clown. Okay, maybe not, but that's a thing then I guess. Okay, the Truth About thing is Dr. Umar, a grifter. Both of these did okay. We've got Decentering Men, Black Men Cause My Trauma. So yeah, a couple of things. So I see here, men need a blueprint. So yeah, it looks like you're talking about all kinds of different things here. So with some of these, I would definitely start, thinking about if you are talking about popular people, like I don't know who Naomi Poley is, but if she is somebody that a lot of people know about, that type of thing is like a really good way to bring attention to videos, because then you are pulling people into the conversation based on a person that they already know. And then you're using that as a way to introduce yourself to people, introduce yourself that they don't know, to people that already know that person, because you're, having that conversation about them. So here, when you're doing this and you say, I want a baby in marriage, dating in your 50s and 40s, like this kind of stuff is cool. Also, if you're targeting, that crowd, in terms of the 40s and 50s-year-old people. But when it comes to like name dropping and that kind of stuff and talking about celebrities and that sort of thing, that's just like a known way, or a proven way, that you can, leverage celebrities to bring attention to yourself. So making sure that you are doing that just as part of your, content schedule, to where it's like, hey, we publish X amount of podcasts per month. Out of those podcasts, let's make sure that we're doing that, X amount of times, right? And then you kind of plan it that way. And then when it comes to, this particular video, it looks like you have this one that's like 2 hours that had that activity on it. Your 8,000 video also was 2 hours and some change. This one's 1 hour and 41. So it actually looks like the longer videos, except for this one. This one's actually the shorter one. It's doing better. Black Christians are wrong. Gatekeeping. So it looks like this one here, this one's a little bit polarizing. So, that's definitely effective. It's pathetic, but here's the hope. So here you're leveraging somebody's name, which is good, but I'm not sure how popular that person is. But it's a super short video. Okay, so a couple things that I would definitely do here, because I'm just kind of talking while I'm looking. But a couple things I would definitely do is I would, as long as you are okay to talk about these things, is I would definitely do these types of things more because people responded to it, where it's like Black Christians are wrong, gatekeeping Caribbean, blah, 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 to where you are directly challenging, people. And by doing that type of thing, it causes people to go like, oh, wait, what do they mean? And then they'll come in, and interact with those videos, which is good. Here, this is also one to where you're, saying like this caused this, and it's also, a little bit polarizing. Unfortunately, polarizing stuff is something that people respond to, but like I'm not a huge fan of polarizing things, just because of how things are right now. But it is something that people respond to. So leaning into that more is definitely something to consider. And then also, adding, celebrities and things like that as much as you can when you're talking about them, is also something that I would do. Other things is like right here. I mean, you got 10,000 subscribers almost. So you do have people that are, interacting with this that do know you. So I think having you in the thumbnails is perfectly okay. But I would, when possible, just make sure you are putting, the celebrities and stuff like that in there if you're, talking about them, which you are. Like right down here, you've got the, what's that guy? Tate, I think is his name. You got, some other, celebrities in these. So I think, from the outside, I think a lot of this stuff, I think you're, kind of following best practices here. But it looks like for most of these that the longer content does get the most views out of these. So I don't know if you're getting a lot of, views because you do have this set up as a podcast and people are into the podcast, but they're not into the clips that much. If you do find that consistently on the channel, because a lot of these shorter videos, you do have some outliers, but a lot of these shorter videos, they do seem at a glance here, they do not seem to perform as well as this longer content. So you can still put them here, perfectly fine. But one thing you might want to consider is if that continues to happen, right? Because you're already at 10,000 subscribers, you've got almost 1,000 videos on here. And if you find that this particular thing continues to happen, then you might want to try, not might want to try, but if this was mine, I would experiment with having this channel, having a period of time, let's say 90 days, to where I'm just putting the long form podcasts on here because that's what people seem to be responding to at the highest level. And then taking the clips that you're doing and having like a mid form channel to where you're putting the clips out of the videos on that mid form channel. And then you're using that as a way for people that are into consuming the shorter form content based on how they're viewing YouTube at that time. Those people can go and watch that content there. And then you can also have people that are into the long form stuff where they can just keep coming back to your channel for the long form podcast and consume that content over there. But I would experiment with that though, because it might not matter. But I would definitely, have a period of time where I don't add those extra clips and I focus on the podcast and just see if it causes the podcast to actually do better. Because then you have like good video after good video after good or good podcast after good podcast after good podcast without the clips being in between.
I like the pink and white.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, other things too is make sure that you are A/B testing some of this. Like, for example, you got a lot of text on some of these. Just try some of these with text, without text. Because you've already got the background stuff. So just be like, hey, let's test a version with the text versus a version without, and so on, and just see if you find that people respond better to one than the other. And since you're not A/B testing these, it looks like, let me just double check. Yeah, since you're not A/B testing these, make sure that you are adding that to your workflow to where you make multiple thumbnails per video and that you're testing them so you can figure out long term what people respond to the most. But it seems like the actual podcast though, people are digging the podcast.
Yeah,
like that's clear.
Indoor cycling fitness, welcome.
Yeah, crystal clear people are enjoying the podcast.
Yeah.
But these like shorter videos, they just don't seem to be doing as well for most of them.
I wonder if people are watching more on the TV with them.
Yeah, possibly. Okay. So next up.
How are we doing with questions?
We're fine.
Okay, great.
Yep. So Poverty to Paste is the name of the channel here. They upload one time per week or more. Been making videos for a year or more. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, are my content pillars too broad? Tours, ship, cabin, port, monthly expenses, mix of self-help, mainly financial, motivational? Yes. I'm going to look at the channel just to make sure that the motivational content isn't also slanted towards that same audience real quick just before. But like from what you just listed, yeah. But we're gonna check.
Yeah, to what? It's too broad?
Yeah.
And it's not showing.
Yeah, it's not showing.
Wrong channel.
I'll put it in a search, see if I can bring it up this way.
What's it called?
Poverty to Paradise.
Did you find them?
Yeah.
You pulled them up?
I'm just making sure this is the right channel.
Okay.
Okay, Poverty for Paradise. Got that. And we've got tours, monthly expenses, and then a mix of self-help. So I see tours. Your life, your role, find your paradise. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me pull this up on screen here real quick.
All right.
So yeah, so in this case, let me make sure I'm on the right screen. I am. So yeah, so one thing that you want to think about when it comes to, you know, your content pillars is even with your different buckets of content, your different pillars of content, you still wanted them to be targeted in the same, you know, direction in terms of, you know, the type of viewer that you're trying to serve with your content. So like in this particular case, you know, this one's like a tour, so that's a good fit for, you know, the tour group. This one is also a tour, you know, of the ship, so that's a good group or a good fit for that group. But in this particular case, you're like your life, your rules, find your paradise. Could be, you know, if you are talking directly to people that are interested in cruises, but if you are talking about or talking to people that are into cruises, then you need to make sure that from this perspective here, from the outside, that they can clearly see at a glance that this is, you know, within that. So, for example, instead of using, is that Cardi B? Yeah, I think so. Instead of using like Cardi B here, you know, having having this might actually be a better thumbnail. This thing that first shows up here, that might actually be a better thumbnail for this instead of having her. And the reason for that is because that will help you, you know, make sure that you are attracting the right people to this video that would also be likely to watch this content over here, right? So with this one, I'm going to put this one as a no, just for the packaging. And then we come down here, multiple crown and anchor numbers. I'm not sure what that even is.
Does she live on a boat?
I'm not sure. How I get free cruises on Royal Caribbean. That's still a good one, right, for the audience that you're reaching. Living on cruise ship saved my life. Good fit. Jewel the Sea balcony cabin. Good fit. Strangest things confiscated on cruise ships. Good fit. Never do this. What gets you banned from cruising? Great fit. Freedom of the Sea balcony cabin tour. Yeah. So most of what you're doing, I think, is a really good fit. Live on cruise ships for less than rent. Yeah, and let's just go ahead and assume that these are green too. Essential things to bring in a cruise. Yeah, I think from everything, really, with the exception of just like a video, possibly two, are a good fit for what it is that you're doing. I'm just on a real quick scroll here. Carnival Cruise Steakhouse, Vietnam cooking class in Da Nang, market tour, and authentic recipes. Okay. So here, the cruise part is actually, you know, kind of like an afterthought in this particular video. So it looks like, you know, people still responded well to the video itself. Not as much as the video, you know, after it where you're focused on Carnival cruises. But, you know, you do have the cruise language in there and all that. But one thing that I would do is I would remove these emojis from here. And actually, if you're going to do a flag, put that Vietnam flag somewhere in your thumbnail. And then get that cruise language in here so it doesn't get truncated like that anywhere on YouTube. But Vietnam cooking class in Da Nang, market tour, and authentic recipes. Cruise break diaries. Even with this, I think this is okay also because you are wrapping around the cruise and all of that. But I would try to make this a little bit more clear from the outside because you have cruise break diaries on the thumbnail itself, but it's just not clear at a glance, right, that it's cruise related. So because of that, I'm going to put this one in gray. Like it's a good fit, I think, for the viewer. I just don't think that it's packaged, the right way when it comes to the thumbnail and title. And then this one's a great fit. Yeah, this is another one, right, to where I'm just going to make it gray, because, you know, these types of things, like if you're taking cruises around the world, you're going to have these experiences, so it's a good fit for your viewers. But I think trying to wrap these around the idea that it does have something to do with the cruises from the packaging would be the right move here. And the whole idea that I'm trying to express is that from the outside, making it to where if somebody watches one of your videos on a cruise ship because they're interested on the cruise ship tour, it means they're probably getting ready to take a cruise, or they're just into cruises and all that stuff. So because of that, when you make these other videos and you want those same people to be watching those videos, then also making it to where from the outside, it's clear to them that it also has something to do with the cruise as well. That's something that I would experiment with on the channel with as like step one, just to make sure that you are just connecting with that right viewer every single time that you publish a video. So you can talk about those different things that you're currently doing here over the last couple months. But I think that, you know, just when it comes to the packaging itself, I think that you are, you know, just kind of missing some opportunities there in order to connect with the type of viewer that would watch every video that you have, compared to somebody coming into that video just because they're interested in Vietnam or maybe learning how to cook in Vietnam. If you package it differently, then you'll have more of the cruise ship people clicking on that versus also growing this like side audience of people that are just interested in like watching, you know, a food video about Vietnam, right? So for that reason, I would just try to work on the imagery and how you're presenting some of this from the outside for that particular purpose.
I kicked the camera.
Did you? Way to go, D. Let's see here. Indoor cycling says fitness. I've been putting my knowledge to work since 2019. Fix, learn, grow, and repeat. Boom. Let's
dig a little deeper. Yes, this will be available to watch later.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And it will have. You still do the timestamps?
Yep.
Yep. It will have timestamps.
Yeah, it'll have timestamps in here, and you'll be able to just kind of jump to different parts or sit back and, you know, listen. This also goes up on the podcasting platforms, so you can, you know, listen to it here on YouTube or watch it here on YouTube, or you can listen to it on some of the platforms. So next up on our list here, we've got It's All His. It's All His uploads one time per week or more. They do personal finance from a faith-based perspective, and the goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I always ABC test thumbnails, and I often have several titles in mind. Been doing title posts in the post tab. If I wanted to change the title, when is a good time after publishing to make that change? So the first thing when it comes to titles is that you want to try to think about the viewer, and you want to try to think about how your title is going to make your video interesting to them or informative to them. And you want to take that and you want to make it in a way to where you can commit to it. Sometimes you might publish the video and then instantly you're like, oh, wait a minute. No, that's not right. And then you make the change. So because of that, you know, spend a little bit of time working on your titles and just put that effort into where you're like, yeah, you know what? For the people I'm trying to reach, like, this is going to be great. The thumbnail is going to grab their attention because of this. And then, they're going to read the title. And then after they read the title, they're going to click because of this, right? And just kind of go through that exercise. And when you do that, then, you know, you can commit to a title. Now, when it comes to changing them, if you do publish the video and you are getting, impressions on that video, but nobody's responding to it, then in that case, that's where you have to reevaluate and ask yourself the same exact questions. What about this thumbnail? Help somebody identify it's something that they might care about. Is there anything that I'm adding to the thumbnail that might distract people from that thing that's going to help them identify at a glance that this is something that they might care about? And then when it comes to the title, what exactly about this title is going to, you know, compel the viewer to click or give them the information that they need in order to click, or, you know, create some type of, you know, curiosity gap or something like that that might cause them to click as well. But being able to define all of these things with your packaging helps you avoid, you know, issues like that with the title where you got to change things. But sometimes you do, right? Sometimes you miss, and sometimes, you know, you need to go in and change things. But when it comes to a good time after publishing, like, it really depends, because when it comes to YouTube, there's factors. So, for example, like if you're trying to get activity in the recommendation system where most of the views come from, then in that case, you have to look at how many impressions that you're getting. You got to look at how many impressions, you know, or what your click-through rate typically looks like based on the amount of impressions that you get on your videos. And then from there, you start to learn what good performing videos look like and what bad videos look like. And then you can start to identify, based on my baselines on the channel, if I publish a video on home pages, how many impressions, or what's my click-through rate based on how many impressions I typically have, or based on this amount of impressions, what's my click-through rate typically, at this point in the process? And same exact thing for suggested. If you're targeting search, considering that same thing. But basically, the idea is to understand how people typically respond so that you can start gauging on if your content is above or below that. And then if it's below it and you find out the traffic sources that you are trying to tap into, that it's underperforming there, then that's where you might want to consider changing it. But keep in mind, like sometimes, you can publish a video and it might just take, a little bit of time for YouTube to just nail the audience or for people to start responding to it, right? Or for it to get shown next to certain videos on YouTube to where, those start pouring traffic into you and stuff like that. So it's best to just spend the time on the packaging first and then, commit to it and then, try to ride it out. But if you do see that's underperforming, which is why it's important to know your baselines, then in that case, that's why, it's good to, know that so you can make changes if you find that it's drastically underperforming. And then other things too, just to mention it, is, when it comes to YouTube, you have the thumbnail and title, and the thumbnail and title might be perfect for the audience that you're trying to reach. Thumbnail and title, you might nail it. Yep. But the problem could be that the title itself or not the title, but the topic itself isn't good. Right, to where the topic itself is just like really narrow, or it's just not something that lots of people in your niche, or who watch your type of content care about and things like that. So because of that, it's important to not always blame the thumbnail and title, but also looking at the topic and being like, okay, really, is this the thumbnail and title problem? Or are they not clicking on it because of that, or are they not clicking on it because the topic just didn't land? Because that happens sometimes.
Yeah, you have to nail all three.
Yeah,
you've got to have the topic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have the title and the thumbnail. Everything works together. And if you miss one of those, it's going to drastically reduce the likelihood that someone's going to click on the video.
Yeah.
And then once they click, then you got to hook them.
Yeah.
Then you got to keep them watching. It's a process.
It is.
It's a process. And I blow it all the time. I think I put something out there. I'm like, the packaging's just not there. I didn't get everything right. It happens.
It does.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Artist Haven. Artist Haven is getting ready to start a new channel, it looks like. They're doing candy making. That's cool. The goal of the channel is to make money. And she says, I'm researching starting a second channel on candy making, specifically hard candies and brittles. Ooh. Does Opus Clip or any other AI editor work well with hands-only videos? Last time I tried it was awful, but that was years ago. So I do encourage you, so they have a free plan. So use a different email or something, sign up for the free plan, and test it on the content. Opus Clip is light years ahead of what it used to be.
Yeah.
So when they first put it out, they basically put out an MVP, a minimum viable product. And that was like, hey, let's put it out, see how people respond to it, see what features we need to add, see how we need to fine tune it, things like that. And they found very quickly, because people loved the tool, they found out, okay, we got to make these adjustments. And then they've spent, if you haven't tried it in years, they've spent, all of this time, and they continue to this day to continue trying to make it better and better and better. So yeah, it's a completely different tool in terms of what you're going to get out of it compared to what you did when they, first launched it years ago. But give it a shot. If it doesn't work, let me know, and then I'll send that feedback to them also. But yeah, it should be okay for that content now. But you say, I want to make one video and take shorts from it quickly so I can make candy one day a week and then edit the video shorts in the afternoon so I can get back to my mixed media art. P.S. I also have some samples at Vid Summit and need flavor ideas, hint, hint. That's great because I love candy. So yeah, I'm down. I'm definitely down for that. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Especially brittles. Yeah, like peanut brittles and stuff. Oh, God. Love that.
You would just eat candy from a stranger?
Yeah, I would.
Vid Summit?
Yeah, well, she's not a stranger. Yeah, I would trust her candy. Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, I'd trust her candy. Yeah.
I mean, you don't. I mean, she's not bringing like a wrapped candy.
Right.
She's just bringing like a saran wrapped candy.
Yeah, I trust it. Yep. It's candy. Yep. If she pulls up in a van, I'm getting in.
Now's your opportunity, Tish. Don't let us down.
Yep. Yeah. And whatever amount that D's going to offer you, like when he contacts you privately after the stream, just turn it down.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Nick is totally hey, get in the van. We've got candy.
I'm like, oh, candy?
Okay.
What kind of candy?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We got candy. Okay. Yeah. Come on in the van. We'll show you the type of candy we got. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah. I'm in. That's Nick.
Yep.
First to jump in the van.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know about that.
So So a channel name Candy Van.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. So next
Welcome to the Candy Van.
Dee's gonna try to send her a check to
right.
do something malicious there.
I don't take checks though.
So Ria Torres, they upload daily content on YouTube for a year or more. They do TVs, movies, reaction content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, the very nature of my channel makes me deal with copyright issues every day. This is going to be your department, D.
Sorry.
And that's fine.
I give up on copyright.
YouTube shows time codes with problems. I re-edit the video until it's good to go. Recently, for the first time, one of my videos got 500,000 views. One day later, it was demonetized for a copyright by the copyright owner. But this time, just one time code, the whole video duration, I unsuccessfully disputed. Should I just let it be? Yeah, so if you think that you're using it in a fair use kind of way, you can go to like Team YouTube on X and, kind of plead your case over there. However, when you are, using other stuff, because here you've got like, you're showing like Stranger Things content, you're showing Breaking Bad content, things like that. One of the side effects of that is that, you do run into situations like this where, you can get, copyright related issues, and that becomes part of your process. So because of that, you just have to make the call and like, okay, for this video, is it worth like, fighting for it or, whatever, because, it did do well. Right. But if you do dispute it, and you do lose, then in that case, you also, you want to make sure that you, can, like defend it.
If you appeal
kind of
it,
stuff
if you
too. Appeal it.
If you appeal the decision.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of drama happening right now in the music space. A lot of drama happening right now in the music space. You might be familiar with Rick Beato. Rick Beato is essentially documenting the history of music right now. Fantastic channel. But he's being absolutely bombarded with copyright claims. A lot of them are coming from Universal Music Group. And a lot of other channels are having these problems as well. So anytime you're using something that you don't have a license to, particularly music, you do run a very high risk of getting a copyright claim, and in some cases a copyright strike. The problem is, even if you are using it correctly, and it would be normally recognized as fair use, you still have to dispute that. And if they don't accept your dispute, the claimant, the person who's saying, hey, we own that, then you lose it. And if you appeal that and you lose that appeal, you can get a copyright strike. So I watched a channel, and I don't remember the young man's name, but he has a very successful channel. I think over 1 million subscribers or something like that. And he was saying how he chooses to fight his copyright claims. He chooses it based on the money that video might make. So he says one thing that he does is he will make a video and upload the video privately and see if he has any copyright problems. And if he does, he'll take it down and re-edit and re-edit and re-edit. And he goes through the entire process to try to get the video edited to the point that he doesn't have any copyright issues.
Oh, nice.
That doesn't mean that he'll never have copyright issues, but he says by doing it that way, it reduces the amount of copyright claims that he gets. He just keeps working it and keeps working. I mean, that's a hassle. Yeah. But he has a very successful channel. And he says once it's actually live, then if he gets a claim on something that's not necessarily doing well, he picks and chooses his battles. He said if it's something that if it's getting a lot of views and I think I'm going to make a lot of money on this, he'll go to battle for it. He'll go for it. He'll dispute it. And he'll even try to argue against the appeal. But if it's something that's just not hitting, he just lets it go. So you kind of have to choose your battles on that. Just be careful. Just understand that the system is supposed to protect people in fair use situations, but it does not. I don't know. There's a lot of controversy going on because of that right now with YouTube. Maybe they'll fix something. Yeah. Maybe they'll make it a little bit better, a little bit more creator friendly. I don't know, but it's just something you're going to have to deal with, unfortunately. Just pick and choose your battles. Yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, we are going to close this down just a little bit early today. I had mouth surgery, and sometime while I was talking there, and like the last thing,
Did you rip something open?
I think so. Yeah, I've got like stitches on the roof of my mouth right now. So we're going to close this down just a little bit early today because I'm weak.
Because you're a snitch.
Yeah, and I got stitches.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right.
Yeah. So on that note, I do want to remind you, if you are a new content creator, or if you're somebody that's just running into walls, right, to where you're not getting the results that you're wanting right now, I do remind you to, remember that YouTube is a learning curve, just like anything else that you're going to do. So just embrace that, like, okay, if I'm not getting what I, am wanting out of the channel right now, there's things that I need to learn how to do. And that thing might be, identifying or asking yourself the right questions when you're putting your thumbnails and titles together. That thing might be, learning how to capture somebody's attention when they come in. That thing might be just learning how to make your videos look better or flow better. It might be coming up with better topics. There's tons of different things that we have to do as content creators, but making sure that, you are focused on building the skill sets around them, because you can learn, all kinds of stuff about YouTube, but when it comes to, learning how to put videos together and serve a particular type of viewer, like that's where the real wins happen. So because of that, make sure that you are focused on those, the things that actually matter the most and will move the needle for you. And that is the skill sets that you develop around what it is that you're doing. So hang in there. You got this. YouTube's hard, but you can do it. Embrace the learning curve, and we will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. D, good stream.
Yep.
Remember to check out Opus Clip when you get the chance. It'll help you cut your long form content into shorter content, so you can publish more, mid form videos, or so you can publish vertical videos across platforms or your YouTube channel. And also make sure that you do check out the new Creator app as well, so that you can, manage your channel and grow your channel on the go. If you're a busy content creator, this app is going to help you, be able to do everything a lot easier, including coming up with or getting feedback on your thumbnails, which is super valuable. It's a super cool tool. In addition to that, it helps you come up with different titles based on different titling strategies. It gives you unlimited video ideas based on, things that people are actually interested in, and it shows you that. But all kinds of different helpful things. So check it out, newcreator.app. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
Yep.
Oh, and if you haven't yet, make sure that you do go to vidsummit.com to get information on the best creator conference for YouTubers happening in Dallas, Texas, October 7th through the 9th. I'm going to be there, and I'm super excited to see those of you that are going to be there as well. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next weekend.